Holy crap.
People persist in doubting the evidence.
Don't run and hide. Don't be afraid. Don't turn away any longer. The truth will set you free.
You're listening to Jimmy Church, Fade to Black.
We're turning all of our antennas towards Jimmy Church.
And now, your host, the captain of conspiracy, the prince of paranormal. This ain't your daddy's radio network show. This is Jimmy Church, Fade to Black.
All right, let's go. It's Fader Nights. Yeah. Fade to Black. Yeah. How you doing? Yeah. All right. Right at the front of my microphone, you know, I've got the windscreen, and there's like this little hair, and I can't see it, and it like, I don't know where it came from. When I come to the microphone, it touches the tip of my nose. And I can't see it. I think it's my imagination. There it is. There it is. Oh, man. How you doing? Fade to Black. Tonight is Fader Nights. Open lines all night right here. Bespoke radio for the masses. Today's Thursday, February 12th. 43 days into the new year. 322 days left. Space Boy, that is awesome. In case you're wondering what I'm looking at, I'm retweeting a Spaceboy pic. This is Fade to Black. We are live from the TruthFunders.com studios right here in downtown Burbank, California. Truth Funders, do you have a book, an expedition, an invention, or a paranormal documentary? Something that you need to get funded on the fringe? Go to TruthFunders.com. Truth Funders, the number one source of backing your project into the fringe. www.truthfunders.com. Go check it out. Talked to Jesse Marcel today. Called me up. Talked to him for a while. Man, that guy, he is the Energizer Bunny. Said, man, Truth Funders is the man. We need what? Where was Truth Funders when? You know, this is yeah. Truth Funders is all that. Thanks, Jesse. Great night last night. Thank you, Eric Von Daniken. Live from Switzerland. 80 years old, doesn't ski. I don't understand that. You live in Switzerland. Don't you ski? Tina Marie just retweeted me. Check that out. Oh, TalkStream Live just came in. All right. Yes. Do go and click. And, you know, we have so many streams now. TalkStream Live, TuneIn, Spreaker, Faders, Jimmy Church. Radio.com, so you can go to a variety of different sources and different streams. But the one that ranks, the one that you can just watch us click and go up the national rankings. Last night we were number 4. Would love to hit number 1, but that's taking out Savage. I just don't see that happening. And Levine, but you know, Clyde Lewis. I think he was he ahead of us or behind us last night? Oh, man, he's a bro. I don't want to take out Clyde. He can stay in front of us. But just as long as we do our thing and we just stay, it's really cool. And the stuff that we've got going on with TalkStream and TuneIn, TalkStream specifically too as well, I'm just fired up. I mean, they are so behind us here. And what we're doing. So, TalkStream Live, all you Fadernauts, go click away. The more you click on that TSL logo and listen to the show through our website, my little mug climbs up. my little mug. Make me proud, Fadernauts. Okay. For KJCR and the Game Changer Network, I am your oh-so-humble host. You wouldn't know that, but what I just said, right? That was just wrong. Is that self-serving? I'm just saying I want to make you guys proud. Look at church. All right, think about that. All right, let's go. Let's get the show cracking. It is Fader Night. Open lines all night, 323-825-5045. You can Skype in Faded Black 14. Big salute to the proud men and women in uniform all around the world fighting the good fight for us. For without them, there is no me, there is no you, there is no us, and you could not hear me right now. Think about it. All right. Who was that? Who was that? Jimmy, please take out Savage. I don't even know that guy. He's big, man. He's got one of the biggest shows in the country. But what's weird, Tammy is, who is this? Daughter Jolene is missing. Frank, wow, what is going on? Okay, I'll retweet that for you, Tammy. Not a problem. Follow us on Twitter at JChurchRadio. That's what you want to do. Hashtag F2B. Come hang out in the sandbox. Get yourself some tweet deck. Get that F2B feed going. I think the feed is on Jimmy Church Radio. I think the feed is on, I think it's on TalkStream Live too as well. So if you just want to go to TalkStream Live, you can sit there. The feed is there so you can see the Faded Black feed. If you want to come hang out in the sandbox and do it in real time and do it with us, get yourself some TweetDeck. We should have the TweetDeck download right there at jimmychurchradio.com. I swear to that. Maybe we should do that. Now, where was I going? Oh. Who was that? What was the music that was playing the intro to the show tonight? Okay. I'm going to turn around. We're on a 10-second delay. I'm looking at Twitter. Who was that? What artist was that playing during the show? And the big thing, did you like it? Was it cool? Did you dig it? Did you dig it? Kat said it was Yngwie. I saw that. Kat said it was maybe Steve Vai. Both good guesses. All right. On the website, TweetDeck, bro. That's from Dave C. Yes, thank you. All right. Less doesn't count. Who was it? Did you guys dig it? Jimmy Indie Music. That was good. Bob. Okay. All right. You heard a Space Boy riff in there. That's from Minnie Fang. Minnie Fang, good. Mike Barrett said it was the Bee Gees, and that's the best guess so far. That was pretty dang good, and you guys like it. Okay. All right. Confession. And this is credit to Space Boy. I'm going to do this right now. That song, yes, it was me. All right. It's a CD I did a few years ago. And that intro music for all of you that were with this show from the very beginning, I think the first 2 or 3 shows that we did on the old network that we divorced was with that music. That was our intro. And this is what ended up happening. Kovar, he's a good musician, he took that music. I don't even know. I can't remember the song title, but it doesn't matter. How can I not know my own song title? I called it like 3 things. I forget what it was on the final. I think it was called Yo, exclamation point is what it was called. So anyway, Kovar did a version of it. And then Space Boy hears that, and he rewrites it. So if you listen, that's the original song. And then Space Boy's intro tonight is another version of the very same song. And when I listen to it now, I haven't heard it in such a long time until today. You know, the whole thing's 5 minutes. I haven't listened to it in forever, years. So I busted it out, and I listened to it. It was great to hear what Space Boy has done to the song and what Kovar did to it, and these different, interpretations, how an artist like Space Boy or Kovar, such talented guys, listen to somebody else's material, and they do their version. But tonight, I wanted to play them back to back. So you got to hear that. And I think it was Minifang that said he heard a Space Boy riff in there. Bob said Space Boy pumped it up. Yeah, he did. He saved it, is what he did. But method, no, I'm not going to play it again. I just wanted you guys to hear it back to back with Space Boy's version of it, and that's where it came from. And that track, I played everything on it. I did the drums, I did the bass, I did the keyboards, I wrote it, produced it, engineered it. And the only reason why I did all of it is because I didn't have anybody else. I didn't have any friends. And when you do something like that, where it's all just stuff you want to get off your chest, and any songwriter out there knows exactly what I'm talking about. Writing songs is hard, man. It's hard. And when you get in the zone, I cranked out like 10 songs, and in about a month while I was recording it. And before that, I had spent 40 years of my life, and I wrote 10 songs in 40 years. And writing is hard, man. It's hard. And I just got into that zone. And I just didn't have time to teach anybody the parts. And I just thought, you know what, I'm going to bite this off, and I'm going to do all of it myself, just because I wanted to get it done while I was in the flow. I didn't want to get anybody else in to do it. And that's how that was done. Anyway, it's not about me. I'm just saying you guys are going to have these questions. Hopefully, I just answered everything. That's what it was. It's just a track. But the beauty of it is, now you know where Space Boy got his inspiration for my intro to Fade to Black, and why that Space Boy intro is so special to me. I will never let that go. Space Boy is here forever. Space Boy, I got your email today. I got both of your emails. I got your reply back. You know what's up, brother. Okay. All right. Where was I? Man, all of that over that. Was who said me first? I'm going to leave it up to you Fadernauts, because it all jumped past me. So who said me first? I'm going to leave it up to you Fadernauts. One of you said me first. And it better not be a tie. So tell me who it was, and get with Whoa, post it here, and we'll do something. We'll get something really special out, because that's really cool. Kat said Yingwei. Wow. Okay. All right. Where are we, man? We're almost out of time. I gotta pay some bills here in a second. Studio Dome SD1 Bluetooth speakers. Norik tweeted today, look what I got my wife. And I thought, man, that's so cool. And he posted his order for the Studio Dome tweeters. There it was on the screen. It was cool. Screen capture. Studio Dome SD1. Enter promo code Jimmy and get $40 off the list price of $99.99. That's $59.99. And the Fader Not deal is not only $40 off, free shipping. Free shipping, I believe, here in the United States. Maybe we can squeeze in Canada. I don't know how that works. But definitely free shipping here in the United States. And they're really cool over there. Just let them know you're a Fader Not. If you're outside of the country, man, we'll hook you up. Just the deal of the century on those speakers is going on right now. Okay? Go over to jimmychurchradio.com, click, get over there. You'll see the link. It's a big banner, black and white banner. All right, Contact in the Desert coming up. Last night we had on, we had Eric Von Daniken and Jesse Marcel III on last night. They'll both be at Contact in the Desert. Contact in the Desert is in Joshua Tree, May 29th through the 31st. Go over to jimmychurchradio.com, click, boom. It's already been tweeted about 3 or 4 times tonight from some other Fadernauts that are going to be there. The contest will probably kick off starting next week. We want to give away, because you are who you are. What we want to do is we want to give away the tickets soon, because some of you, most of you, will be traveling from out of state. Last year, we had Fadernauts from Texas and Arizona, Nevada, up north. I think we had San Francisco, San Diego. You know, they had come in from all over. You have to make arrangements, man. You know, you're either flying or you're driving, and you know, hotel or whatever. And if you don't have a place to sleep, you know, maybe we can roll a cot into into our bungalow. I'm kidding. Whoa, it's just like church. Slow down. Slow down with that one. All right. Where are we? Follow us right now on Twitter at JChurchRadio. Hashtag F2B. Tonight is Fader Night. For all of the new listeners all around the world right now that are listening, you can Skype in Fade to Black 14. You can call 323-825-5045 anywhere in the United States. As you know, everybody's got free minutes these days. There's no more long distance. We were going to get a bunch of 800 numbers a while ago. I'm like, why? Doesn't make any sense. Calling anywhere now is free. So 323-825-5045. Let's get this show cracking. Got a lot of stuff to cover tonight. I was very tempted. I'm going to say this. Everybody saw my little Twitter blast right before the show. And one thing that I will never do, I am a bright ray of sunshine. I will not speak, walk, talk, email, post, converse, negativity. I just don't do it. I don't respond to it. And, you know, I don't respond well to it. If I would, it wouldn't be good. Maybe because I just leave that stuff built up. But I just don't do it. And apparently, there are a couple of jagoffs from the other network that happen to host shows and produce shows over there that are attacking people over here with bad stuff and bad language and just bad vibes. And my take is this. Ignore it. We're better than that. We look down. Anybody that spews hate, that is negative like that, is a bad, burnt-out, fried soul all the way down to their very being. And they walk around life like that, bitter, with Samsonite luggage, baggage just hanging off of them. They can barely walk down the street because they're weighed down with bitterness. Don't do it. We are so great over here. That's it. The divorce, it was done. Whatever happened, it's done. It's done. It's over. It wasn't a big deal then. It's not a big deal now. People that don't know anything act like they know something or act like they know me or they've talked to me personally or I've said something to them is all baloney because I haven't spoken to anybody about it and I'm not doing it now. Just not going to do it. I'm asking you, all of you Fadernauts, anybody listening to the show, all the negativity out there, all of it is coming from the other side of the fence. Leave it there. Ignore it. It slows you down. Life is way too short. We only have so many days on this planet, my friends. Only so many days. You live to 70 years old. How many days do you have on this planet? It's nothing. And if you're 30 right now, you're halfway done. And so you've got half of nothing left. Spend it having a good time. Spend it drinking and doing drugs. Hey, listen, check this out. I'm kidding. But, you know, really, if you just are happy with everything that are around and you just live your life every day, just loving your family and your friends and your country and your job and everything around you, and you're just a bright ray of sun. If you are like that, then people around you see that and they feel that and they want to be around you. You don't want to be around somebody that's spewing hate. That's not even fun. It's uncool. Smells bad too. Anybody that does that spews hate, is either wearing really bad cologne and they think they smell good, or they don't take showers and they smell really, really bad. Why? Because they just spew that hate. You don't like to be around that. You know what I'm saying? All right. With that, did I get it off my chest? I am not. Wise Frog, that's good. All right. Are we cool? Are we all cool? You know I love each and every one of you. With that, it is Fader Night. I'm going to take a break. I got it off my chest. Got it off my chest. Because, you know what? It's all good. It's all good. This is Fade to Black. It is FADERNIGHT. I didn't drop one name there, but you know who we are talking about. Fade to Black, bespoke radio for the masses. On Spreaker, TuneIn, Talk, Stream Live. Go click. Do the right thing. Shoot me an email, jimmy@jimmychurchradio.com. Follow us on Twitter right now at jchurchradio. Let's pay some bills. Got to do it. And I'll be back right after this taking your calls and the news you know nothing about. And we got a lot of that tonight. I'll be back right after this.
You're listening to Jimmy Church, Fade to Black.
What's up, revolutionaries? It's me, Jimmy Church. Do you have an IRS or state tax issue? Well, I did, and I called national tax experts. My problems were fixed, done, fini, and man, I gotta tell you, it was a relief. National tax experts are a recognized tax office that services clients in all 50 states. Doesn't matter where you live. Give them a call. I'm telling you, they take the time to understand each and every client's individual financial status as well as their financial goals. And that's exactly what you need, my brother, when you're taking on the evil 3-letter. So, seriously, give them a call today at 1-877-909-5444. Again, 1-877-909-5444. Or go check out their website, www.nattaxexperts.com. That's NATTAXEXPERTS.com. Tell them Jimmy sent you.
This is KJCR at JimmyChurchRadio.com.
They hate us because they ain't us. Oh, man. This is Fade to Black on the Game Changer Network, Spreaker, TalkStream Live, TuneIn. When I first heard that in the interview, I was dying. And I could have sworn he was swearing that he was saying, could have swore that he said, anus. And love it. It's a great line. It's a great line. And I've got so much to do. I haven't opened up the phone lines yet, but somebody, here we go. Boom, boom, boom. Wow, did I say after the break I was taking calls? Is that what I said? I got stuff to do. All right, I'm going to take one call. One, and then I'm getting to the news. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling? FADERNIGHT.
Rivet. What's up, man?
What's up, Wise?
I got two things for you. The first one is indie music.
Yep.
Bumper music.
Yep.
I'm telling you, I've done this since '98. Is when I opened up the first pagan radio station, and indie music is the best way to go. It's free, royalty free. They'll send you so much music that you have to have a new email account just for the music.
Yeah, and I'm with you on that. Now, we'll probably be addressing this issue tonight because I think it needs to be addressed, and I do understand what the other network is saying. I understand what Art is saying. I fully get that. You want to have stuff that is about you. Where I am lucky and where I have been blessed, Wise, is this. Doug Aldrich has been a close / best friend of mine going on 25 years. I first met him in 1984. And I produced him, and we were together. He was there when my daughter was born, and he's just been there. And so playing his music, that album, I slaved on that thing. You know what I mean? So
right.
that music is part of me. When you guys are hearing that each night, yeah, it's great stuff. Doug can, he can spank the plank. We know that. But it also means something to me. And I understand where Art is coming from. he's painting a palette and he wants something that means something to him. I get that. Okay, I do, but don't let it stop the show.
Well, I understand it too, but when Art says he wants it his way or the highway, I mean, sometimes you just have to tell somebody to grow up.
Well, the part that where Art is, he's right and wrong in one thing. I hope he's listening right now.
Me too.
He's got to understand one thing, okay? If you're going to play with the big boys and you want to play the big tracks and you want to have all of that stuff and the listenerships and everything else, you got to pay for it.
Exactly.
That's it. You don't get a special break because you're Art Bell. The world doesn't work that way. You don't get to cry and post stuff and go, look, I'm not going to do my show if I don't have my music. I'm not going to do my show. No, the show comes first. So I'm sure that he will work something out in his own mind, and he'll be able to paint that picture. But let me say this: when I look at some of the comments that people have been making, well, it's the internet, man. It's not the same. No, it is the same. Whether one person is sitting in front of a TV and you watch a commercial and Led Zeppelin is in it, right? And one person is watching, or one person is sitting listening to your stream and you play a song, it's one person. There's no difference in how that person, the artist that you're playing, should be compensated. You are still in front of a person. And it doesn't matter if it's a click on the internet or if it's somebody watching one television commercial at home. The access is the same.
That is exactly. That is you are right, Jimmy.
Yeah, Wise. Let me make a point. I don't want to cut you off, but I just did, and I apologize for that. What's the difference? What's the value to you listening to an internet show to everybody, including Art Bell, or one person sitting in front of a television watching a commercial? Are you worth less? Are you less of a person because you're listening on the internet? No,
you're not. No,
you are the same person. And if you listen to that song and you dig it and you're put in the mood, whether it's from a television commercial or you're listening on the internet, your value is the same. And to that artist there, that's it. And it does not matter. There isn't a value difference, whether it's AM radio, television, or clicks on the internet and that. It's the same thing. Now, if you want to swing with the big boys, do you know what it cost somebody to put Led Zeppelin in a commercial for television?
Man.
Right.
Oh, dude,
exactly.
I don't want to slam Art.
I'm not slamming Art either. I'm not.
Oh, no. I know you're not. I just want to finish my statement about it. I don't want to slam Art. He's worked his way up from the bottom all the way up to the top of where he's at now. But he can't afford to play, quote-unquote, real professional artists. And I had a conversation with a couple people today, and I was basically told that Art is too good to play indie music. It won't work for him, quote unquote.
Yeah, that's hypothetical stuff. That's
exactly what was said.
No. What I'm saying is we don't know what's going on in Art's mind. Only Art knows that. What I'm saying.
I'm speaking a quote from him.
That's different. But anyway, that's totally different. You're right. But you can't. If you're gonna, like I said, if you want to go play with the big boys, and you want 100,000 listeners a night. Well, there's the law says, and it's called total listening hours, TLH. And for a show like ours, and it's 7,000 hours, over 7,000 hours. That puts you into a whole nother class of show. Total listening hours. Now, our show is 3 hours long. So if each click is 3, so if we had, think about this, if we had 2,000 people listening to the show each night, which we blow that way out of the water. So we meet the 1 month criteria of 7,000 listening hours in a month in the first few minutes of the show each night. And
Right.
it would cost us, I mean, seriously, it would cost us if we did that. You go and you get the license. The license is $500 a year, and then you pay.
Yes.
Per click, and you have to show
Yes.
evidence of your clicks, and
Yes.
and that access is all over the internet. So
Yes.
those calculations go into play. The next thing you know, you have to spend. You could spend as much if you were doing. If you think about this for a second, if you're doing 1 million people a month, now you're spending 60 grand, 70 grand, $80,000 a month for your
month.
licensing. So
Exactly.
So that's it, and that there's no way around it. I understand, anybody that gets into this kind of show and they start looking at stuff like that. If you get 10 listeners a month, it's no big deal, no harm, no foul, and nobody's probably even going to come after you. There's 100,000.
Oh, well, no. As far as that rule is concerned, you can have up to 40 people listening to your program without having to pay any royalties. You still need a license.
You need the $500 a year license, yes, and you're absolutely.
You still need a license, yes,
Yep.
you do.
Yep.
But you don't have to pay per click until after you've reached that 40 listener.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yep. And with us, on our website, we do, 30, 40, 50,000 clicks a show. Okay? A show. Last month, I forget the totals. We could post it. It's not that big of a deal. But we did 750,000, I think, over the month, and we had 1.5 million individual clicks. Now, you start to think about that, and you start to present those numbers, and if I'm running with that license, I got to make a lot of money from somewhere to cover that. The big boys do that through advertising, and they're paying for the stream.
If you play your music or my music or any other indie music, Space Boys indie music, you don't have to pay for a license, and you don't have to pay per click.
That's right.
And there's so much good music out there. I can't stress how much good music there is out there that nobody's ever heard.
You know what? You said the wrong word. You said good. Great music.
Excellent.
Great, phenomenal, mind-bending awesomeness out there. Look, would I like to play Led Zeppelin? Would I like to do that? Yeah. It would be cool maybe once in a while. And I used to do that. But, it's not about that. I just want stuff that is cool, but I don't want it to take away from the show itself. I don't want people coming here because Jimmy plays, really cool bumper music. What? And that's my take on it. The Doug Aldrich stuff is personal to me, and it helps promote Doug. And Doug gets to get his little tweets and emails every day. Man, I heard you on, Fade to Black, good stuff. And that makes me feel good. And Doug responds back to every single fan, that comes at him. And trust me, Doug and I were texting back and forth last night till 2:00 in the morning after the show.
Just wait until you have 100 different bands ready and 100 different tunes just for your show.
Yeah.
I mean,
you're right about that.
I've had it happen to me. I mean, it's awesome.
Yep. I invite, I've got some other stuff that I'm going to be playing, and I've got another buddy of mine. His name is Ronnie North. Ronnie, if you're listening, I love you, brother. Ronnie is another creative guitar player like Doug, very talented guy. I'm sure his website is ronnienorth.com. You can find him on Facebook too. Very talented guy, instrumentalist, and I'm going to be featuring some of his stuff. And then I've got another friend of mine that works for Rode Microphones, and his daughter is very talented, and I'm going to be featuring her. Dance music, but just really good stuff, man. Really cool. She's 16 and amazing. So. But I'll invite, if anybody's got really cool tracks, my taste in music, I like everything across the board. And so with that, send us some stuff. Send it to Rita, and we'll check it out, and we'll squeeze it in. I have no problems with that. None at all. The best stuff out there is the stuff that nobody knows about. That's my own opinion. Once you start taking money-wise, you write your writing goes downhill.
Yeah, it does. It does. I thought I had sent you the link to my stuff, but maybe I hadn't, and I'll do that. I don't know that you want to play it, and it doesn't. Nobody wants to play it. But
do you say Jimmy Church in the song?
Do I say Jimmy Church in any of my stuff?
Yeah.
No.
I'm just kidding, man.
I recorded everything, did everything myself, kind of like what you did.
Yeah.
But that was before you were even around, or that I knew about you anyway.
Right. Well, send it to us, man. Send it to us. We'll check it out. And you know that. Thank you so much, Wise.
All right. You take care, man.
Hey, be that bright ray of sunshine.
Oh, you don't know me well enough.
All right, Wise. All the best, my brother. You know that.
All right. Later.
See ya. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hey, this is Ryan.
Hey, Ryan.
Ryan here. Yeah, I called the other night when you had Kevin Randall on, and I was mentioning this case. I wanted to talk about a UFO case, if I could. Is that okay?
Yeah. Go ahead.
I didn't know if it was open topic or...
Well, I mean, the topic... hey, man, wait.
Change the topic.
Ryan, UFOs and this show go together like that cream between Oreo cookies. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it'll be a total diversion from the topic you have now, but I mentioned that video, and which possibly shows a UFO over the ocean, and it's the Turkey one. And I wanted to mention that there's a lot of speculation that some people think it could be the deck of a cruise ship, but I wanted to point out why I think that it probably isn't. Because I've actually done a lot of research on it and analysis on it, and there's some segments in there. By the way, a newer version of that video, better quality of that video, that is not copies of copies has been put up on YouTube. I'm going to put it on Vimeo. I don't know how to say that properly because it has better quality, but there's some parts in that video where you can see the moon in the background, and somebody went and used the moon as reference to measure how far off the ground the object in the video is, because you can go back using astronomy software, and there's a certain measurement you can use, and it turns out that it's too high off the ground to be a cruise ship.
Right.
And also, somebody went and looked at what's called AIS information, which is tracking information that large vessels use. It's like radar, and every large ship in the ocean, it's a secondary thing to radar, where they report back electronically their position, their GPS position, through a system. And somebody went and checked that, and there wasn't anything in the area. So, and there's also some parts of that video that are taken during the day. I just wanted to mention that I just had to call back and mention that there's other evidence that doesn't point towards a cruise ship. And plus, it was taken over 20 different separate dates. So the chances of a cruise ship being in the same spot or in the same area that many times, or misidentified that many times. Plus, Roger Lear was there, and he mentioned looking at it with his binoculars. I don't want to go on too long here. I just wanted to see what you thought about that.
Well, thank you so much, Josh. And I am like everybody else when we see things like that, and I've heard so many people report and talk to me about these, craft that are just unusually large. And this is why I think it's them and not us, is because crafts like that, if they were ours, we would have hangars somewhere big enough for them to park in. That's the first thing. And the second thing is, with Google Earth, airplanes, cell phone cameras, and everything else, we would see them somewhere eventually parked on the ground at some airport or some secret runway or large field or something somewhere. It would be, you just can't hide it for too long. And that's why I just feel like it's something from not of this earth that we're seeing, unless, of course, there's some kind of cloaking and stealth technology that it makes it ours, and we don't see it parked on the ground. Where would the airplane hangars be big enough to park these things in? They would be huge. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, exactly. And video is not video. Video is just video. But when you have witnesses that were there on the ground who have been on the radio and talked about it, people that are credible. Unfortunately, Lear's not around anymore, and I wish he was, because he was really a great guy, and
yeah. He was a really cool guy.
It's too bad that so many of these people are passing away.
Well, that's part of life. But the good news is, there's a lot of youngsters out there now too, as well. And when you look around you, guys like, Mike Barrett and Jason Martell and a whole slew of, look at, Jason and Maureen over at Open Minds and Alejandro, of course, myself here. There are guys out there that are going to. Richard Dolan's another great example of that, and David Marler, who we had on the other night. These are guys that are very intelligent, very smart, and care about what's going on. I just left 100 guys off of the list, and gals, and I apologize for that. Look at Chase Kletsky, another example, and Leslie Kane and James Fox. I could go on and on and on. So I don't think we need to worry about the generation that's above us, the older generation, about them going away. What we need to do is get them on this show and talk to them, like Eric Von Daniken last night. He's 80 years old. He's been on with us twice. We're going to have Stanton Friedman on again. He's been on with us a couple of times. But, there are guys up there that are getting a little older. I understand that. I do. But that's also part of life. But we need to learn from them and spread their word, but also preserve it and learn from them. I enjoy nothing more than chatting with a guy like John Anthony West that has seen more, forgotten more in his life than I even know personally. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm able to just sit and talk with them, and hopefully that conversation is something that you guys pick up on.
But that video, it's the real deal. I know it's hard to believe, and it's hard to because it's so fantastic. But I mean, if I challenge anybody in the audience to go and look and start at the very beginning in 2007, and just sit back, get a bag of popcorn, and by the time the whole thing's done, it's 2007, 2008, and 2009. You'll understand that it's not. I mean, I'm not saying that you're saying that it's not real, or anybody. Nobody's really said that it's not real on this show, but people in the audience who might think that it's a mirage, or it's a frisbee or something like that. It's not. So anyway,
well, Todd J just posted a still from the video, and look, I watched, when those videos first came out, I watched them for about a week straight, every single night, just sitting there watching it frame by frame by frame by frame by frame. And those videos are long, and they're consistent, and they're also a year and a half apart. And I go and I watch them, and when you see that guy, that little, creature, whatever it is, him and his buddies, but you see him go up and look out the window, you almost want to jump out of bed, man. That's a pretty, I'm serious. I'm not playing around about that. I remember the first, I was like, oh, holy crap. Did I just see that? And I had to go back and freeze frame it and take a look at it. And I couldn't believe my eyes. I mean, I just couldn't.
Yeah. So anyway, I wanted to move on to the other night when you had Randall on, you were talking about the slides, and did you see the slide that is not the one where the alleged being is laying down? He's laying down, but it's more of a side angle.
Yes, I saw it. Yeah, I've seen them all.
It's sort of blurrier, but it's down lower, and that one clearly looks different. Or the one where everybody's saying, or the one that was released that was, it's hard to explain it on the air to get it straight, but there was a first one that was released. Have you seen that one?
Yes, I've seen them all.
Oh, okay.
Well, there's only two. There's only two pictures.
Yeah.
There's only two. I've seen them both, and I've seen the comparison shots. I talked about it last night on the show with the museum down in Mexico with their alien that's on display there. Are they similar? Yes. They're about 98% the same. You know, right. I mean, it's that's a bummer. But if you look really close at the torso, I don't think they are the same. So I'm hopeful, but the torso is way too out of whack.
Yeah, well, time will tell. We haven't seen the good ones yet. I think it's going to come down to how many fingers you can see, because if it's the fingers and the mummy there, it's likely to have 5 fingers unless as a human that had 3 fingers or whatever. So we'll see how many fingers the thing has, and in my mind, that'll decide it. But now, anyway, I don't want to take up too much more of your time. I've been listening. I just caught on your show recently, and I've been enjoying it. And you seem like a no-nonsense guy and down to earth, and you're not, you don't have a big ego like some of the other radio hosts do. So I'm going to tune in more often, and thanks for taking my call.
Hey, anytime. Okay, Mr. P. Hey,
anybody that has Judas Priest. Was that Judas Priest that mentioned your show?
Yep, that's Rob Halford.
Anybody that has Judas Priest mention their show, I'm all in for.
Thank you, man. Thank you so much. I'll talk to you.
He's a metal god. He
is. Well, he says it in the commercial, too. Have a good night.
Yeah, you too, man.
Hey, Bear.
Hey, how you doing,
How you doing, brother? Everything good? How's my bright ray of sunshine?
Oh, my antenna bent again, talk on it. But other than that, I'm doing all right. How about you?
It's another bright ray of sunshine day around here, man. I live my life by that. You know, anybody that knows me, Bear, anybody that's hung out with me, anybody, I don't care how far back you want to go. I've never been a D. I never have. I never have thought about it, you know. But I live my life. I just try to have fun. You know, every single day, friends, family, the people that, you know, the FADERNIGHTs that have hung out with me, a few have been guests in our home, additionally. They know exactly what's going on, you know, and that's it. I'm not fake, and I don't paint any picture that isn't real. So there you go.
I'm the same way, bro. You know?
So what's going on, man? It's FADERNIGHT. What do you got for me?
Oh, well, let's see. I think you heard about what happened at the city hall.
Yes. Are you through it?
I'm through it as far as I can get, but I can still create a lot of chaos about it.
Oh, man. What did I just say? You're my bright ray of sunshine, man. So if you've gotten through it, now it's time to move on. Go Beckley Tepe and
pretty much, except for just stirring it a little bit more. But
okay, all right. Well, if that makes you happy,
I kind of feel like okay, well, it costs me so much time, energy, and effort. I kind of need to spread it back to the source.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Well, just behave while you do it. So.
Oh, I always behave while I do it.
All right, Barrett. So what do you got? What do you got? You got a question?
One thing. I've listened to some of Wise's, music, and it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's what I hear. I've had a few comments come at me. Dude, you got to check Wise out, man. You got to check Wise out.
Okay, really, you got to check him out, man. He's got some stuff going on. I mean, if you like, real earthy,
Okay, don't tell me before I listen.
Oh, okay. Well, just download it and listen to it, and he's got some stuff on YouTube that'll just blow your mind, too.
Okay.
As far as his music stuff, it goes back. He's, got an album, okay?
Uh-huh.
He did. And, if you like, down-to-earth kind of, stuff, he's got it going.
Well,
So,
I'll check it out.
Give it a good sound, man. Because I've known him for a long time, and he's really a cool dude.
Well, we'll see if his coolness translates into the tracks, man, and we can get it on the show.
Yeah, well, it depends on where the mood goes. If you follow where I'm going. But hey, Rita's got my number. Give me a call this weekend. I think I might have some solutions for you.
Okay, we'll talk about that off the air. I get your emails.
Yeah, that's not, that's something that needs to be talked about off the air.
You got it, Bear. Hey, man, have a good night, my brother.
And it's going to be cool because not only do I have some solutions, but I got some answers.
Have a good night, Bear.
You're going to dig it. Okay.
Thanks, Bear.
Be well, be safe, be cautious, and be cool.
Thank you, Bear.
All right.
The bright ray of sunshine in my day is right there. Really quick, if you're on hold, stay there. Let's see. I had a couple of emails that I wanted to get to today, and I didn't. Terry Grozia wrote me, and he says, just wanted to let you know, Spreaker rocks. I love the stereo. And they even send you an email so you don't forget to listen. I didn't know that. Is that right? Do you guys get, how many emails must they send out a day? Everybody gets an email every day from Spreaker? I didn't know that. They don't send me an email. Check this out. You've made a cheater out of me lately. Not just you, but you and Eric Von Daniken. Great show. Just wrapping up lunchtime here in the office, and while I'm tasked with the business of the day, I can't depart from Eric's insight. So, yep, I admit it, I've FADERNIghted. A new word. Today at work, hey, fader happens. And that whole, for the lack of a better word, riff with you and Eric Von Daniken when he reels off and says, I can debunk any debunker, was priceless. I hope I see 80, but to have that passion, drive, and fortitude, man, I can only hope. Dude is spot on. Keep it cracking, brother. And remember, there is always an open invitation for you to come to Bristol for some short track cracking. From Ben Trout, Vice President, Ticketing and Guest Relations, Bristol Motor Speedway. And that, my friends, is what I'm talking about. Bristol. Thank you, Ben, and I know you're listening right now. All the best. You sent me the email. I took the other stuff out. I never edit. I had to edit that. You know why. Thank you for the email, Ben. We're looking forward to coming out to the track under the lights. This is Fade to Black, bespoke radio for the masses. It is Fader Night. When I come back, we got some breaking news. I'm going to get to that, and also the news you know nothing about. I'll be back right after this. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Follow us on Twitter at JChurchRadio right now.
Hello, you're listening to my main man, Jimmy Church, on JimmyChurchRadio.com.
My name's Nick Dominguez. Hi, I'm Rex Dominguez, and I listen to JimmyChurchRadio.com. Jimmy is your preacher. Amen. This is Toby Kebbell. You're listening to JimmyChurchRadio.com. Don't hurt me, Jimmy. I'm only little. Hey, I'm Adrian Grenier. And this is Ari Gold. We're of the Honey Brothers. Yes. We are of the Honey Brothers. Hey, I'm Adrian Grenier. And I'm Ari Gold. We're the Honey Brothers. And you're listening to Jimmy Church. The Revolution.
KJCR. JimmyChurchRadio.com.
Despite popular opinion, reading a book will not make you smarter.
But listening to Jimmy Church will.
All right, Fade to Black, Bespoke Radio for the masses. Tonight is Fader Night, 323-825-5045. Open lines, 323-825-5045. We were just talking about indie music, the internet, streaming, that little blow up. And I'm going to get to some news and some breaking news. Frank Costigan, who has been a guest on Coast to Coast AM. He's a UFO witness, former police officer and chief of police. His daughter has gone missing. Her name is Jolene Lewis. Apparently, Costigan was getting some threats. I can't confirm any of that at this point. This is just stuff that I've heard. It's breaking news. Her name is Jolene Lewis, 29 years old, was last seen in Needles, California on February 7th, about 11 a.m., near a convenience store off of J Street. Lewis was reportedly walking to the store and did not return. She takes daily medication, which she left behind and is in need of, according to the family. Lewis is approximately 5'7", 140 pounds. I'm looking at a picture of her here. Says she has brown hair with light blonde streaks. That's exactly what she looks like. She's, wow. There you go. She was last seen wearing blue jeans, a light colored top, and tennis shoes. She may be in Needles, Mojave Valley, Fort Mojave, or in the Laughlin area. If seen, please contact Frank at 707-685-4374 or the San Bernardino Sheriff Office dispatch at 760-326-9200. We need to take care of our own. Sorry to hear that, Frank. And we get anything here, we will pass it on directly. All right. Let's get to the news you know nothing about. Really quick, looks like a deal was struck over in the Ukraine today. The ceasefire is supposed to kick off in 3 days. We shall see. Heavy weapons on both sides are supposed to be brought back. There's going to be a demilitarized zone set up. It's almost identical to the last peace initiative that they inked there, also in Minsk, which went up in smoke in a couple of days. So let's hope this one holds. Archaeologists claim the Islamic State, ISIL, extremists and militants from other groups are funding their activities in part through illegal trafficking of antiquities. And authorities worldwide have been taking action to try and stem the flow. Now, what are we talking about here? We're talking about Sumerian tablets, objects in Iraq, in Syria, aged stuff, things that have been stolen, and just it's insane what has been flooding the market lately. What first sparked the awareness of the issue, archaeologists say, was a deluge of cuneiform artifacts on the Western antiquities markets after the first Gulf War in 1991. In the years that followed, archaeologists estimate that hundreds of thousands of small clay tablets with cuneiform inscriptions made their way into the hands of dealers. Many contained different sayings indicating that different things on the outside that indicated that they were just fresh out of the earth. Think about this for a second. They're out there digging this stuff up, not knowing what they have. It could be very, very important. They can't read it, and they're just selling it. It's insane. An American scholar of ancient Jewish history familiar with the tablets on display in Jerusalem said that those were purchased on the London antiquities market at the time when the cuneiform artifacts were flooding the market, a strong indication that these items were looted. He spoke on condition of anonymity and to discuss potentially illegal activity. London-based Israeli collector David Sofer said he loaned the cuneiform collection to the Bible Lands Museum, denied any foul play. He said he purchased the tablets in the United States in the 1990s from a person who obtained them from public auctions in the 1970s. Insanity. In June 2012, 2 friends were stopped by police in Coney Island, Brooklyn, on the suspicion. Oh, okay, you know what? I got to back up. What I'm going to do right now, I'm going to ignore some phone calls. No, I'm going to keep them open. If you're on hold, stay there. 323-825-5045. But this is kind of funny. And all I'm saying is, just listen to this. Now, I have 8 of these that I'm going to read. And each one of these is a situation where the cops got it really, really wrong. Listen to this. I'm going to start with number 8, and then we're going to get to the best one. We'll save that one for last. Here goes the countdown. In June 2012, 2 friends were stopped by police in Coney Island, Brooklyn, on the suspicion that they possessed crystal meth. According to the New York Daily News, the arresting officer reported that the perps were carrying 6 crystalline rocks of solid material, some blue, some red. When the rocks were tested at the New York Police Department lab, NYPD, it was determined that they were Jolly Ranchers. The suspects had purchased the treats at a candy store on Surf Avenue minutes before their arrest. I'm just saying. In the summer of 2013, police officers in Tejas conducted aerial surveillance of a 3.5-acre farm near Fort Worth, where they spotted what they thought were marijuana plants growing. And, you know, in Texas, a marijuana leaf gets you life in jail. So they say. 6 adults who resided at the farm, a small organic operation called Garden of Eden, were handcuffed by the members of a SWAT team. After a 10-hour investigation, they were released when they found out it wasn't marijuana, it was tomatoes. 10 hours. Is there a lawsuit there? Can you sue the SWAT team for that? Sitting around in handcuffs over tomatoes. A 30-year-old in North Carolina was arrested in September for selling crack cocaine to an undercover officer. He didn't actually have any crack cocaine in his possession, but when he was approached by an officer about the possible sale, he found the next best thing, a corner of a Pop-Tart. He had laying around in his truck, which he crushed up and parted with for $20. The man was charged with creating, then selling a counterfeit controlled substance. Oh, man, stay on hold. I can't stop this. This is good stuff. Jimmy Church, your monogram in cuneiform. Is that right, Barrett? Barrett, don't mess with me. Are you serious? I'm going to retweet that. Somebody's going to bust you, Barrett, if that's not the real deal. I'm just saying. If not, I'm putting that on my business card. A 45-year-old carpet cleaner was on a 3-day road trip in May 2011 when he was pulled over by police in North Carolina and asked to explain the mysterious substance in the back of his truck. After conducting a field test using a portable device, officers determined it was cocaine. A follow-up analysis by a state lab, according to the Asheville Citizen-Times, showed that it was 91 pounds of cheese. The man ended up spending 4 days in jail. Cheese, as it turns out, can contain enzymes that yield false positives when tested for drugs. It also says here that he had some tortillas. I'm not kidding. A crew A crew of officers from the Georgia State Patrol descended upon a man's home in October last year with a helicopter and a drug-sniffing dog in tow, having spotted plants growing near his house that appeared to be marijuana. Upon further investigation, the plants were identified as okra. In April 2013, a 46-year-old man was stopped and frisked by police officers once again in Brooklyn and asked to explain the white pellets in his pocket. He was arrested on suspicion of possessing MDMA and kept in jail for 30 hours. Oh, man. That's 1, 2, 3. What's that? 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 jail meals. Oh. According to the New York Post, the pellets, it turned out, were POW energy mints. All of the officers needed to do was smell them, accused the man's lawyer. Officers in Bel Air, Kansas, searched the home of their 4-term former mayor in September 2005 after concluding, based on photographic evidence, that he was growing marijuana in his garden. After searching the home for about an hour, the 10 officers, not 9, 10 officers dispatched to the scene came to the realization that the plants in the backyard were sunflowers, which the mayor and his wife had grown from seeds given to them by their wildlife biologist son. Bel Air's sitting mayor commissioned a report to figure out what exactly went wrong, but defended the actions of his officers, pointing out that sunflowers, which happen to be Kansas' official state flower, weren't blooming at the time. But bump. Can't make this stuff up. You think I am. I'm not. All right. Here's the best one. Are you guys ready? Did he say cheese? Cheese. Cheese. All right, here we go. This is the best one. Number 1. Investigators arrived at the home of a Southern Illinois family one Wednesday morning in 2013, expecting, based on tips from neighbors, to find a meth lab. Instead, they discovered an elaborate system of Walmart buckets and tubes that the family had attached to trees for the purpose of extracting maple syrup. Da-da-dun. You gotta love this country, huh? Makes you wonder, how did they get that badge? Even I could get one. This is Fade to Black, bespoke ready for the masses. Tonight's Fader Night, 323-825-5045. You can Skype in Fade to Black 14. I'm your host, Jimmy Church, taking your calls when I come back. Stay with us.
Way out here, we listen to Jimmy Church.
You're listening to Fade to Black.
¿Qué tal, mis amigos? Yo soy Mario Carson, el tiburón, y los invito para que escuchen a mi buen amigo Jimmy Church Radio. ¡Claro que sí!
Oi, oi, I'm Reese Evans. You're listening to Jimmy Church. This is Revolution. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution is on radio. Ciao. Welcome back, Fade to Black. Bespoke
radio for the masses. Tonight's Fader Night, 323-825-5045. I kind of cheated. The last call, the latest, the call that just came in, I picked it first in front of everybody else. Oh, man. I feel guilty. Does anybody know if they're on hold? I guess they don't know the order, do they? So I can do that. So maybe I shouldn't have said anything. Fade to Black, 323-825-5045. You can Skype in Fade to Black 14. Taking your calls all night. Got a bunch of subjects on the table, but let's see. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Yeah, this is Easy Rider from Carbondale, Illinois.
Hey, Easy. How are you, brother?
Oh, pretty good. How you doing, brother?
It's a beautiful night, man. Bright ray of sunshine. That's me.
It's a little cold here. It's about 20 outside right now.
Oh, yeah, we got over 70 today. You know what? I'm sorry. I apologize for that. I shouldn't even say it. It's miserable here. We just had an earthquake.
I tell you what, when spring rolls around, you feel alive again.
Yeah.
So you get that appreciation when it's time to thaw out.
Well, you know what's weird about that, Easy? When especially in the Midwest, in the summer when it's hot and humid, you're like, man, the winter's not that bad. You do it every single year. Then you get to the winter and you're like, man, summer's not that bad. Please,
well, let's put it this way. It always gives you something to look forward to.
It does, doesn't it? When they say the grass is always greener, just go through winter and summer in the Midwest, and it doesn't matter. Pick a city. It could be Memphis. It could be Detroit. It could be Chicago, St. Paul, St. Louis. It doesn't really matter. Columbus. Go all the way across Cleveland, New York. Go to Boston. It just doesn't matter where you're at. It's kind of funny. Summer's miserable, winter's worse, and you're never happy. That's just the way it is.
It's sort of like life, right?
Yeah. I got to run the air conditioner. It's too expensive. I got to run the heater. It's too expensive. It's just what you can't win, man. You just can't win.
Well, it's always great in the spring, the first couple of really nice days when you see people calling out, looking around, it's like, yeah.
Hey, you know what? I'm going to tell you.
Wearing shorts,
Right.
Time to live again.
And explain this to me, Easy, really quick. And then we'll get to your question. But explain something to me. Why is it that every winter, the first day you got to scrape your windows, you don't have an ice scraper, and you have to go out and buy? Where do they go? How come you have to buy ice scrapers every single winter? Where do they go? There must be ice scraper heaven somewhere.
I don't know.
Did you buy one this year?
This morning, 4:30 in the morning. Wind was blowing. It was like a 0 chill factor. I'm like, man.
Did you buy an ice scraper this year?
No, I use that spray stuff.
Oh, you use the spray stuff. Okay. Well,
I cover my car. I just,
All right.
But we haven't had a lot of snow here. Just some really cold days.
Right. Which is worse, actually.
Yeah,
I'd rather have when it's 30 degrees out and 3 feet of snow, you feel like you can run around without your shirt on. When it's 0 and no snow, that's the cold. That's the cold that goes to your bones, man. Your very foundation is frozen when there's no snow. I don't know why that is. All right, you called me. What's up, brother?
Yeah, I was just thinking about Wallace that you had on there with the Electric Universe.
Yep.
And I don't know. He said there was no correlation. I sent you a question in there on the 0 point field, but for a while there, I mean, when he was talking, I've seen a lot of correlations between the 0 point field theory and his theory. And I don't really understand why you can't see it, but he seemed like he was kind of blindsided with the whole quantum physics thing.
I don't think his research. There's a couple of things for guys like Wallace that their research is very, very, very narrow. It crosses into, archaeology a little bit. It crosses into astronomy, a little bit. And, there's a few things that come into play. But when it comes to some of the other fringe topics that we're all concerned about, like 0-point energy and gravitational stuff too as well, and propulsion systems. It's not really what he does. And you know what? I just lost Easy. He just dropped. The call dropped. Easy, call back. Call back, and I'll get you right at the front of the line. That's just not right. What time is it? 8:15. Okay, let's go ahead and take a quick break. I'll be right back after this. It's hot in here, man. It's hot. Whoa, AC. I'll be back right after this. Stay with us.
On JimmyChurchRadio.com.
What's up? My name's Brian Taylor, Ninja Badass Extraordinaire, and this is JimmyChurchRadio.com.
JJCR in your face.
JimmyChurchRadio.com.
Well, I had Easy. He dropped again. Fade to Black, bespoke radio for the masses. Okay, let me see what's going on here. Wowo's like, don't do that again. I'm dying. Wowo, come from your studio into mine and check this out in here. It's hot. Hot. Fade to Black, bespoke radio for the masses. Tonight is Fader night. Taking your calls all night. Thursday night is the best night of the week. Love hanging out with everybody. Some of the things that we were talking about tonight, I'll put some topics on the table. One of them is, you know what? Internet streaming, music, all this hubbub that has been out there about, why, we have to. That is just part of it. But that subject is certainly on the table. Our guest this week, ufology, always. Have you had a sighting? Always good. Anything recent in your neighborhood? I always want to hear any of that. Okay, Easy. I put you at the front of the line. Are you back?
Yes, sir.
What's dropping?
I have no idea.
Okay.
Electronics is beyond me, my friend.
Okay. All right. So, but what I was saying was with Wallace is his investigations for a lot of that, his research is very, very narrow. So when you bring up subjects like, if he doesn't really know about it, or if he hasn't done a lot of, he just doesn't go there. His whole thing is EU. And so, yeah, I get that. He shut it down pretty quickly because you know what? He just doesn't want to say something that he doesn't know his facts about. Certainly he's heard the stories like we all have, but you know what? If he hasn't done the research, if it doesn't fall into what he is doing, you know what I mean? Then he doesn't research it. And so,
well, a lot of this stuff is really, it's hard to get your mind around, but if you read a little bit about quantum physics, and from my understanding of the electric universe, it's like they basically say that nothing, there is no vacuum, period. Okay. That everything is connected. And that's exactly the same thing that energy point field theory states.
Right.
So you start out with the same premise that and with the electric universe theory, I guess there's plasma or ether that connects everything. Okay. And with the 0-point field, it's basically energy. They don't specifically, it's all atoms and neutrons and protons, but it's all connected. And that's basically the same theory on both the 0-point field and the electric universe.
Right. And I think that in general terms, in very broad terms, I think science is slowly grasping the idea of space is no longer empty, and that there's certain things that they always bring up. You can't hear sound in a vacuum. You need to have objects out there, something there for sound to travel, and so forth, and so you can hear it. And in the vacuum of space, in space, nobody can hear you scream. Or like when you see those big, fantastic explosions in Star Wars, none of that would happen in space. It wouldn't happen. But I think that everything that I've read, again, I don't have a doctorate, but everything that I have read, it's getting closer and closer to that, space isn't empty, and it's just not. And we're starting to put those pieces together. And that's what EU states, and I understand about 0 point. I'm one of those guys that thinks I know it's a little outside of the box, but that even our very cells and atoms that our bodies are made up of, we all know that we're not solid. If
exactly, I mean,
you can see right through it. So you can take a diamond. A diamond is not solid.
I took a college class one time. It was an energy class, and we started with the spectrums of sound, okay? And then we worked up into the spectrums of light. And I remember at the time, and I wasn't familiar with any quantum physics or anything, but I remember thinking at the time, well, it sounds like everything is energy. From the very bottom to the very top, it's all energy.
That's right.
And this is the way we perceive energy. So when I started reading, some of this stuff on quantum physics, I'm like, wow, that just makes absolute sense.
It does. It does. Well, hey, we can all boil it down to one basic thing that we've all been told our entire lives. There's no positive without a negative. Opposites attract. And that's the way electricity works. That's the way atoms works. That's the way neutrinos work. And the smaller that we get, there's always like two of something. There isn't one of something. And they're all electric, and gravity is involved. And when you think about, simple things like magnets and how they repel and attract, when you start to look at those fundamental things, well, that's exactly what our bodies are. We all know that our bodies are full of electricity, and our nervous system and our brains. And everything is elemental. Everything is based off of that. And if you just have that basic idea, just that basic little thing, then everything kind of makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah. But, one thing I think he was doing, he's basically wanting to throw back to the Newtonian physics of the atom, where you got your molecule and your electrons and your protons. And I don't know, to me, the picture's much bigger than that. It has to be. We can't go back to the old Newtonian physics to explain the universe.
No, is the picture bigger than that, or is the picture actually smaller than that?
Well, maybe it depends on whether you're looking through a telescope or a microscope. Huh?
Right. Thank you, EZ. Thank you for the call, brother. All the best.
All right. Take care, Jimmy. Have a great night.
You too. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling? Oh, I just dropped that call. Oh, let's grab the next one. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
This is Tammy.
Hi.
Hey, Jimmy, I wanted to say thank you so much, not only from me, but from Frank, too.
Oh, yeah. Well, look. No joke.
No,
Once you're a parent and you see stuff, once you're a parent, before you're a parent, you're a little free in life and things you don't understand a lot. But once you become a parent, and you see stuff like that, you respond. That's all you do. That's it. It's from one parent to another. And that's it. You don't have to thank me, but thank you for thanking me. I thank you. How's that? You're welcome. Fair enough?
I didn't do nothing but get the word out to the right place. I'd actually like to ask all the Fadernauts, if you have Facebook, if you have Twitter, if you have anything, please.
Have you talked to Frank directly?
Yeah, I talk to Frank directly every day.
Okay, well...
Him and Hayes and Rob.
Yeah, so what's he saying?
Every day.
Can you talk about it?
Yeah, he can.
I know you. Can you tell us what there were some reports of maybe some disturbing things that were going down before that, or these things you can talk about?
Yeah, he just did it. Him, Hayes, and Rob just did a Discovery Channel thing on the LA UFO. I don't know, conspiracy, whatever it is. And they kind of have been laying low.
Right.
what little I know, I mean, you can talk to Frank. Frank would be more than willing to talk to you.
Okay.
Bob, Bill, all of them would be willing to talk to you. In fact, I got a couple more people that might be interested in talking to you.
How do you think this is related to his daughter's disappearance? Or do we know?
Only speculation right now.
Right.
He posted it 3 days ago. I helped him post it, and then he was kind of not so worried 3 days ago, but still on alert. And then today he's like, people, please, I need help.
Right.
You know, being a father, I am so surprised. Well, not me being a father, but him being the father. I am so proud of him for getting the word out there as strong as he has. You know,
Needles. This is what's crazy. Is Needles is a tiny little place, and until you've been to Needles, California, because you drive by it in literally,
it's gone.
yeah, literally. I don't even know if 30 seconds is enough, or is too much, because you just blow by it. But it's right there in the desert, off of the 15 in between Los Angeles and San Bernardino and Las Vegas. And it's just it's a very famous place because it's like the last thing you see before Laughlin. And but it's a small place, and that's what's crazy about this, because Frank probably knows the person that, if that's indeed what happened, he probably knows this person. I mean, it's just a small little place. And the other flip side of it, if you know somebody in Needles, they're not that hard to track down because it's all right there in front of you.
No, but he waited. He was like, maybe she's just not, answering her phone, having a bad day. So he waited. Then, you got to wait 72 hours before you notify the police. And then the police will investigate it for another 24 to 48 hours. They don't even have it on the search yet because of her age. She's 29 years old. She's absolutely a beautiful, caring woman.
Yep.
Just like everybody else, we all have problems. I don't care who you are. If you ain't shitting gold, then you got more problems than anybody else. And I don't know anybody that shits gold.
Right.
I mean, poops gold, sorry.
Yeah. You said that twice, and that just went out live all over you.
I didn't mean it.
What am I going to do?
I apologize, everybody. I'm just a little bit uptight on this.
Yes.
But, to find her is really important. If anybody knows anything, if anybody can share the info that we posted on Twitter, that Jimmy has on his Facebook, that Rita has on her Facebook, I believe Frank has it on his radio talk show, posted on his page. If you guys can just copy and paste that, the more people that know, the better chance we have.
What's his page, Tammy?
Oh, gosh. I can't say it. Jimmy, I don't listen to his show.
Oh, okay. Well, just get it and throw it up on.
Send it to you.
Throw it up on Twitter tonight, and I'll retweet it out. And I've got Frank's phone number here. If you want to have him call in tonight, it'd be a good night to call. Give him a call and tell him I'll take his call. Okay.
Okay, I'll do that right now.
I'll talk to you, Tammy.
All right.
Bye.
Now you talk to him. Bye.
Well, bye. All right. Where was I? Oh, let's just, let's keep banging calls. Hi, you're live on Faded Black. Who's calling?
Hi, this is Lori Jimmy.
Hi, Lori Jimmy. How are you?
I'm doing good. The other day I called and I've told my story about my little UFO story or whatever.
Uh-huh.
I was really nervous. You were like, is this the famous Lori UFO? Yes, I told you about that privately, so I was freaking out a little bit because that was the first time I ever told it publicly. So I kind of, was a little nervous.
It's okay.
But
I have that
Okay,
effect.
but-
I have that effect on people. Which
Well,
is
yes, you do, honey. Yes, you do, baby.
and so it's just because I want everybody to be comfortable.
Well,
it's okay.
I know, and I have told you that privately, and I know you're like, oh, is this, you're starting to yeah, and I know it's all friendly and all good, and it was, but I was just nervous at the time. But you were right on point. Yes, this was the same story that I had contacted you about. But that's not what I'm here to talk to you about. My question was about you.
What's that?
And about your experience, because you have said you have had a UFO experience, and I haven't really heard it all in detail.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just wondering, could you tell me your story and give me a little more detail, and I'll take that off the air if you wouldn't mind.
Well, which one? Which one?
Well, where you said you saw a UFO too.
Well, I've seen 3.
And I don't know.
I have 3 stories, and then I have a little sleep paralysis story with a little dude in my room. So
okay, and you know what? I asked you a question privately about the rest of my story, which, like what I told you on air about seeing the objects, that's my first thing that happened. A lot of things happened after that, and which I, don't want to go into detail about.
Why not?
What was your?
What happened after that?
Oh my God. Okay.
Well, you can't say that. You can't say that to me and then just go, I'm going to run.
Right.
Okay, so what happened after that?
Well, all right. I told you about the 3 objects I saw with my friend, outside on the freeway, whatever. Okay, I'll tell you what happened next. Oh, my Lord. All right. Well, this is going to sound crazy, but okay. I was in my apartment and...
Okay, hold on, Lori. Hold it right there. Get your thoughts together and think about that, because I'm going to say this is Fade to Black, only on the Game Changer Network, bespoke radio for the masses. Tonight is Fader Night. Open lines all night. 323-825-5045. Follow us on Twitter at JChurchRadio. You can shoot me an email, Jimmy@jimmychurchradio.com. We are talking to Lori out of Texas, and she is telling us about the events after her sighting with her friends, where 3 objects came together and separated out in the sky. They came home, told their family about it. They all thought that they were nuts, and they were probably just being teenage girls running around in a car in Texas, and they didn't really see anything. But, of course, Lori knows different, and now she is telling us what happened next. What happened after that, Lori? You're alone in your apartment.
Yes. Okay, well, all right. I'm just going to say it. Okay, the next thing that happened was I was in my apartment alone, and this is going to sound so crazy, and I don't know if it was sleep paralysis or a nightmare. All of these years, I've always chalked it up as a nightmare and a bad dream, but elevated out of my bed like a magnet, like a freaking magnet up. And I remember holding on to my bedpost because I was still halfway awake, halfway paralyzed. It was like I was in between. And I was still holding on to the bedpost, but half of me was paralyzed. And then I got pulled out, elevated like a magnet out of the door, out of the room, out of everything, went. And then I saw 2 beings, not going to lie, it sounds crazy, I know, in my doorway, and I heard something in my mind, not spoken, but in my mind, that said, she's waking up. And then I blacked out. That's it. I don't remember anything else after that. Nothing.
So when you finally woke up, were you back in bed?
Yes, and it was when I left. When that happened, it was nighttime and dark.
Right.
When I came back, it was morning time. So I don't know how much lost time it was. It had to be at least 5-6 hours, I would think.
Right, and you
It's
don't
not
remember.
time to morning.
Right, and you don't remember anything at all.
No, not from being taken out of my room in my apartment.
Okay.
I lived alone. I was 18, had my own apartment. No, I don't remember anything after that.
Okay, what did they look like?
It was dark. They were hiding. It was 2 of them. They looked like they were short. I remember that. They were shorter than me. I'm 5'3", and they looked shorter than me. They had big heads and were short with skinny bodies. And they almost looked, and this sounds so crazy, it almost seemed like they were humored or giggling or like, I don't know. It was really weird, a strange sensation. Like they were laughing like, hey, you know, and then I didn't know. The next thing I knew, what it was, I was laying in my bed. I looked up, raised my head, because I felt something was weird. I looked up and I saw these two things standing in my doorway.
Mm-hmm.
All of a sudden, my body lifted, and I was grabbing onto my bedpost, trying to hang on and stay in my bed.
Right.
Fighting, Stina. I was fighting. Like, I have a strong mind and a strong will, and maybe that's what it was. But they said she's waking up, and I didn't hear them vocally. I heard them in my head say that.
Mm-hmm.
She's waking up.
Mm-hmm.
And they were pulling me out. And as I was grabbing and still trying to hold on to my bedpost, I slipped away and went into like a sleep or something. I don't know.
That was it. It was just like 1, 2, 3,
and that was it.
gone.
I don't remember No, I don't remember. And that's why when I messaged you that time, that's why I asked you, like, what do you think about hypnosis regression or anything? Like, I'm kind of scared about that. But that was my, you know my story. I told y'all before I even told it on your show.
Right.
But that's what I was talking about, though. It's really weird because I don't know what happened after that.
Well, my story is very similar to yours, except I didn't. I stayed awake, and after about 15 minutes of this confrontation of this, there was something in my room. And I was in the dark, but I couldn't move. I could only move my head, and I could move. I couldn't move my head. I could move my eyeballs, so I couldn't look down. And so we had this moment where this guy was there, and I'm there, and we knew each other were there, and it was like this standoff. And then after about, I'm guessing, but it was a long time. It was about 15 minutes, and I thought I was going to have a heart attack. And then, I somehow, I was like, I don't know if released is the right word, but suddenly I could move. And when I could move, I sprang over to my left. The being was off to my right, off of the right side of my bed. I bounced to the left and turned on my lamp on my nightstand. And then I turned around and looked, and he wasn't there. And what the funny part about it was, where he was standing, he was like next to this speaker stand, and I thought he was standing behind the speaker stand. But once I turned on the light and I looked to where he was, there was just a white spot of wall right there, and what was there was gone, and I flipped out, man. I flipped out. And I didn't have anything like, I didn't fall back asleep like you. But what I did do was I jumped out of bed. This was probably 3 o'clock in the morning, something like that. And I ran through the entire house, turned on all of the lights. Every light in the house got turned on. And I never went back to sleep, but it took me a long time just to get out of the adrenaline part of it, because I was I was scared out of my wits. But I said it many times. I slept with the TV on and the lights on, ever since. And that was in 1995, 96 when that happened.
Mine was in 89, and to this day I have insomnia, and I sleep with the radio on. My phone, my radio right by my head, and I'll listen to Art Bell, Dark Matter, Jimmy Church. I'll listen to everything, whatever. I just got to hear something all the time. It was so crazy, but I don't know. I think I went so crazy that they just I don't know if they just was like, this, girl is crazy. We need to put her to sleep. She's freaking out too bad. I don't know what it was. They were like, she's waking up. But I remember hearing that in my head, she's waking up.
Yeah, that was
the weird part to me.
Yeah, that's pretty nutty. And Jeffrey Kropp just said, has anybody else in your family been abducted or had any other similar experiences?
Well, you know what? I've tried to speak to my sisters, my family about it. They think it's nutty and, they don't even want to hear it. My mother, she's the one, me and Lisa, my friend, I'll tell you my story. We went to her apartment. My mother believed us. She saw us. She saw us freaked out and she, knew we saw something crazy. But no, the rest of my family, they're like, no. Even though one of my sisters said she saw something in the sky, a UFO, she still doesn't want to believe it.
Hey, Lori,
they just don't want to hear it.
And you need to keep talking about it. Thank you for the phone call. I'm going to grab Frank is calling, so let me grab this call.
All righty, thank you, Jimmy.
Thank you, Lori.
All right, bye.
Bye. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
This is Frank Costigan.
Hey, Frank, how are you tonight, sir? I know things have been better, but how are you? How you hanging?
I'm hanging in there. It's tough.
Well, in the strangest of ways, I'll just say, welcome to the program, and I'm glad that you could make it on with us. And why don't you share with everybody right now any information that you have and anything that you need help with?
Yeah, my daughter, Jolene Hugon Lewis, is missing. She's endangered, I think. She left my house. She came over to talk to me about some problems she had. She was going to move in. She needed to walk to the store to get some personal items. 5 blocks away. She left Sunday morning at 11. She's never been seen or heard from again. Her purse was here. The only ID she had on her was her driver's license and $20. So I have no idea what happened, where she's at.
Did I had mentioned earlier, Frank, and I'm looking at her picture here. She's 5'7", 140 pounds, brown eyes, brown hair with light blonde streaks. She almost looks, I want to say, more blonde than brown, but that's her picture here. How did she look on the 7th? Was it more brown than blonde, if you know what I'm saying? Oh, man, I just lost Frank. Let me see if I can raise him right back. Literally calling him right back. You got to love it. This is Fade to Black.
Hello.
Hey, Frank, we got disconnected. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. I was saying, what was she, with her hair being streaked on the 7th, was she more blonde or was she more brown? How would people identify her?
She's got brown hair with blonde streaks through it.
Okay.
And she wears her hair up.
And Needles is it's a very, how close are you actually, do you live in Needles proper?
Yes.
And so it's a very small community there. Did anybody else see her at the convenience store? Were there any witnesses to anything?
Nobody's seen anything.
Unbelievable.
So the sheriff is, they're out hunting for possible videotapes from businesses along that street.
Right.
And we haven't heard anything yet.
Now, I do have the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Office dispatch number is 760-326-9200. That is 760-326-9200. If you know anything, if you've seen anything, if you were around J Street at 11 a.m. on February 7th and you think you saw anything strange or whack or whatever, you're on your way to Vegas and you were driving through whatever, and you think you might have seen anything, please call the San Bernardino Sheriff's Office, 760-326-9200. Also, Frank, you want to give out your personal number?
Yes, my cell number is 707-685-4374.
That's 707-685-4374. And Frank, if you get anything, any developments, you know how to certainly get a hold of us here. And you can call us direct. You can call our producers and please let us know. And if you need me to do anything, I will certainly do that. We have posted it out on our Facebook pages. We have tweeted it out. And now, we are certainly speaking to a very large audience now. And anything develops, please contact us immediately.
Yeah, I really appreciate your help.
Thank you so much, Frank. Okay?
Okay.
All the best. All the best. Our thoughts are with you. Thank you. Yeah, that's thank you, Frank, for helping us with that. Again, Jolene Lewis, 29 years old, was last seen Needles, California, February 7th at about 11 a.m. near a convenience store off of J Street in Needles. She was reportedly walking to the store and did not return. She takes daily medication, which she left behind. She's in need of that medication right now. She's approximately 5'7", 140 pounds. She's pretty. Brown hair with blonde streaks in it. And she has brown eyes. She was last seen wearing blue jeans, light-colored top, and tennis shoes. She may be in Needles, Mojave Valley, Fort Mojave, or in the Laughlin area. If seen, please contact Frank Costigan, 707-685-4374, or the San Bernardino Sheriff's Office at 760-326-9200. Okay. Frank, our thoughts are with you, man. I hope everything is cool, safe, and sound. She just needed a break. This is Fade to Black. I'm going to open up the phone lines right now. 323-825-5045. 323-825-5045. Fade to Black, bespoke radio for the masses. This is FADERNIGHT. Taking your calls when I come back.
This is William from La Crescenta, and I listen to JimmyChurchRadio.com. Jimmy Church.
My name is Alan, and I listen to JimmyChurchRadio.com.
He's always giving it to you straight.
JimmyChurchRadio.com.
Hi, this is Rob Reiner from Anvil, and you're listening to JimmyChurchRadio.com.
What's up? I'm Chris. What up? This is Kyle Massey, and you're listening to Jimmy Church Radio, the Revolution.
Fade to Black. You know what's cool about doing this show? Art Bell can't have Doug Aldrich. If he asked really nicely. Just kidding. Fade to Black, bespoke radio for the masses. Who's calling? You're live.
Hello, Jimmy.
Yes.
Hi, how are you doing today?
And who's this?
This is a unknown person calling from a very deep underground base. I'm calling to talk to you about the Matrix.
How you doing, Status?
Hey. So my question.
Yeah, man. I'll talk about the Matrix anytime. And you know what? And check this out, Status. Space Boy is on hold. That's how. And I'm just saying this out loud because Space Boy is calling in right now, and he's listening. Space Boy, it's Status. So just chill out for a minute. Okay, go ahead. So, The Matrix, one of my favorite movies, Mr. Anderson. What would you like to talk about?
Well, mainly what has to do with David Icke in The Matrix. He says we're inside of the Matrix. But I feel the back of my head, and it feels fine. I don't have anything sticking out of me.
Right.
It makes me wonder how we're living inside of the Matrix. I understand his theory behind that because we're all kind of blind to the fact that we're all just kind of plugged in, especially with all these screens and televisions and indoctrinations and all these sorts of things. A couple years ago, I was watching The Matrix for probably the 20th time, and it's kind of finally caught on to. We are living in the Matrix. And it's one of my favorite movies, and it's a real eye-opener. It actually helped bring me to listening to Fade to Black
because I never really thought, wow, maybe aliens are real. Maybe we are living in the Matrix. And so it's a real eye-opener to some people that just don't get it.
The reason why I think all of this freaked out after the third time that we saw The Matrix, because the first time you don't get it. Let's be clear here. You enjoy it. It's fantastic. But its significance doesn't hit you until maybe the second or third time that you see the movie and start to grasp the ideas behind it. But the reason why we freak out on that, and we freak out on what David Icke has to say about the idea of the Matrix being us today, it's sort of, he speaks sort of about the movie, but it's more about the ideology behind the Matrix. And is this, we just don't know. And what if, because the way that it's presented in the Matrix is that's your reality, man. That's your reality. So your reality, whether it is artificial, it is still your reality, because our universe is all, like we were talking with Wallace the other night, it's all electronic anyway. So what if everything that, this entire thing around us is just actually a computer, a simulation, and we're just part of it. And you feel that, and the reason why it's so dramatic, I know you've played video games. I know you have. Everybody has to some degree. And when you get inside of some of these games, whether it is, God of War or Grand Theft Auto or Lara Croft and Tomb Raider, or any of those games where you are in these large worlds, right? And they're just infinite. Yeah. It is a very easy idea to grasp, because these games present that very easily to you, that it can be done. And what's the difference between you controlling Lara Croft running around, right? Or could that actually be you that's in that game? Is that possible?
What is that?
Yes.
Well, Jordan Maxwell helped David Icke many, many years ago in the 90s. And, as you know, Jordan Maxwell had a book out, Matrix of Power, and a video. You can go to YouTube and just type in Matrix of Power Jordan Maxwell and watch it. And then about 7 years later, here's a movie, The Matrix, very loosely based off of Jordan Maxwell's work. And you just mentioned video games. Most video games now are tied into supercomputers.
Yep.
Sounds crazy, but they are.
Yep.
And they're using them for computer simulations. So let's say Call of Duty, for example. The computer learns. So if you're playing with Call of Duty, it's all tied into a computer, and they use that same technology, because it's all tied to the Pentagon, to use that in artificial intelligent programs.
Sure.
So we are essentially creating a matrix if we aren't already living in one.
That's right.
Because people are tied to a virtual reality, and kind of like what Aldous Huxley said, that we're going to basically be on drugs and learn to love our servitude, and they want to put lithium in the water and fluoride's already in the water, that we're actually going to be living, if we already aren't, in the matrix. So it's really trying to help people out to realize that, because once they realize it, well, they will be set free. Take the red pill.
Is there any difference, status? Is there any difference really if you find out one day that you were actually part of a computer program, but you lived your life, you raised your family, you raised your kids, you had great things, you did this, you enjoyed driving cars, you were riding motorcycles, you went to amusement parks, you experienced a roller coaster, you jumped out of whatever, you enjoyed television, whatever, and you lived a good life and you were happy, and then you find out that it was all fake. Isn't it still the same?
We all go to sleep at night and we all have dreams. Whether we remember those dreams and what happens in those dreams, does it really matter? We could be living in a dream right now, we just don't realize it.
Right.
And that's like being hooked into the Matrix. So I guess one way of trying to unlock from that is you have people like Terrence McKenna and Graham Hancock and, well, David Icke, ayahuasca. It's one major thing to try to disconnect from our reality and try to get, into our deeper self.
Right,
so
right.
I think that's very important. And, maybe doing what those high priests did back in the biblical days and maybe taking some psilocybin and, tripping on some shrooms. 'Cause that's what they did.
Yeah.
And they wrote some pretty powerful books.
Right.
And they were on something, or onto something.
What about, you remember Blade Runner? What was the book that he reads in Blade Runner? I forget. What was it? Do electric sheep dream or something like that? There was a reference to it in that when Harrison Ford was wondering if he was a replicant or if he was human. And then there's two cuts of the movie. The director's cut has the dream sequence that he has because he dreams in the middle of the movie, and he dreams of like horses or a unicorn. He has this dream, so that was part of the dilemma in the movie. Is what? Even if you are not real, you can still have emotions and you can still dream. And you just brought that up yourself. We still dream at night. Well, remember in The Matrix, Neo dreams a few times. He's dreaming and wakes up to his alarm clock. Remember? And you remember when he wakes up when his computer says, Neo, wake up? Remember?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the Matrix told him to.
Right.
Eventually. To wake up.
Yep.
Yeah. I haven't seen Blade Runner, but maybe I should.
Yeah. Oh, you haven't seen Blade Runner? Electric Sheep.
I haven't seen a lot of movies.
Okay, check it out. Do androids? Okay, here it is. I got three different posts here. One of them, Electric Sheep Dream at Night, is a book. That's from Donna Colvin. Cortana just tweeted, Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep is the book that it's based on. Okay, so Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep? And then, of course, like I said, in the middle of the movie, in the director's cut, Harrison Ford has that dream. And the one that was released didn't have the dream in it. And it kind of messed with the movie because then it was just a science fiction thriller. But, the whole thing is based on, is Harrison Ford a replicant or not? And he's questioning that himself. And it's not really presented well in the movie when you take that dream out. It's just a really cool science fiction thriller. But in reality, there's a whole morality side to the tale that is there, and it's pretty fantastic. You should check it out, man. It's a pretty amazing movie, actually. The director's cut.
Yeah, director's cut. Will do. Hey, there's one thing. I don't know if you follow JordanMaxwellShow.com, but he's still fighting his battles with his lawsuits and trying to gain back his identity. And right now on GoFundMe.com/Jordan Maxwell, he's trying to get some money. So I'm just throwing it out there. He needs legal fund help. There's he needs like $4,000. So people can go there and check that out. Try to help Jordan Maxwell. Hey, the sooner he can do that, the sooner he can be on your show. So
I don't know if you've talked to him. I talked to him a couple of months ago, and about coming on the show. He lives right down there. He lives here in very close to us. Yeah. And I was really excited about it. And then, he goes, man, Jimmy, man, I'm going through this and it's not, the legal stuff is so crazy what he's going through. And I don't want to get involved in that or talk about it here because the people that he's up against are absolutely out of their minds. And if I say one thing, they would find a way to make, have that work against him. Trust me. So we need to stay clear on that. But it is truly making it difficult for him to be himself and to come on this show. I have listened to Jordan for years and years and years, like we all have. I've read his stuff, like we all have. And I would love, man, there would be nothing finer than getting Jordan on this show, and we can just sit and rap for a couple hours. Could you imagine how cool that would be?
That'd be awesome. I mean, you could talk to him for days. I mean, you should. I mean, well, when you can.
Yeah, there's it's not only one topic. I mean, he can go in one of 100 different directions, but his knowledge of the mystery schools and symbolism and religion, it's crazy what is inside that brain of his, man. I mean, it is a lot of stuff, and we could just go on forever. You're right. We could have a Jordan Maxwell week, no problem, if he was up to it. All right.
You should just try to GoFundMe.com and find him. Throw it out there.
Yeah, throw it up on Twitter. I'll grab it. Thank you so much, Status, man. All the best, my brother.
Hey, you have a good one.
You too. What's up, Dino? Turn down your radio.
Oh, I know that. I always do.
What's going on, brother?
Well, since we're in a mood, this is a little bit of a downer. I've been meaning to bring it up all week, but I want to do it early enough so that we can go on to happier things. But I'm concerned.
Okay.
I'm concerned about some of the Carrie Cassidy stuff that I've been looking into lately, and specifically, she's been interviewing 3 times. Allegedly in Vacaville prison, this Mark Richards, who has allegedly been framed, and he's a secret space captain.
Right.
And apparently I didn't know this because, I knew Robin Williams, and he apparently knew him for a while. And according to Kerry's account of this, his last interview with him, with Mark Richards in Vacaville, that he said that Robert Williams, that he was taken out, that Robin's latest wife had been trying to put a wedge between this Mark Richards and Robin. Apparently they were still in touch. They'd known each other since Marin Junior College, where they went together. And this is all according to Carrie. And I think she says a lot of good things, but I think she said that this Mark Richards said that Robin knew a lot of stuff, or he was going to bring stuff out. We talked on other shows, on your show, about how a lot of comedians seem to get taken out. Richard Pryor, all the way back to Lenny Bruce. People, and she said that this Mark Richards said that it's because the comedian make us break out of the matrix, so to speak. They make us realize we can laugh at authority and laugh at things that are considered very serious. And therefore, they're kind of like deprogrammers, and they want the folks, if this is true, that run the secret societies and governments don't want these people around. But then, in addition, for Kerry to say that this man said, well, they took Robin out because he was supportive and he was looking into a lot of this stuff, I really need to know more about it. I don't know if she wants to come back on the show. I do know from personal experience in a town that he would hang out in a lot in Northern California, that a few years ago he took a bumper sticker that a local guy had made that dealt with aliens. I'm trying to remember, but there's still one up somewhere in town. And so it seemed like Robin did have an interest in some of this stuff that we deal with on the show. So I'm really bummed if that's true. This really kind of upset me when I found out about this a couple of weeks ago. Have you heard anything?
No and yes, but I'll let Carrie speak about it. She's out of country. We saw her this past weekend and took some pictures.
Will she be back on?
She can come on anytime she wants to. She knows that. She's out of the country right now, and she's working on some other stuff. But when she comes back, I'll have her come on. The stuff with Mark Richards, which is well documented on her website, and she's been pursuing this for a number of years, is there. And I've let her continue her conversations with him and the family about this and present it there and get it done. And as soon as she's finished with that, then I wanted to have her come on and talk about it. But I wanted her to finish everything that she's doing and present it there. Her and I have we talked about it? Oh, yeah. We've talked about him quite a bit.
I want to analyze it more when we can. That would be helpful to me because, a lot of people love the man, but the fact that I knew him through several years, I'd like to know more about this. How true is this? And it's very disconcerting to me, just like Montauk was. And, I learn things every day, but you realize this is not for the faint of heart. If you're into this and you start going down these rabbit holes and taking these different pills that we all believe here, I guess, are reality, it's really time. It makes you want to be Jesse Ventura. You got to be vigilant. You got to call the BS when it happens, and you got to fight back. I mean, for example, the petition didn't make it to the White House, as we know on the faders.org for the full disclosure. But I like how Stephen Bassett and others have said it's done its job, because it's starting to get the awareness out there to the president and to other people that there are some people seriously pursuing this, and they can't be keeping it secret too much longer.
Right. Yeah, that Captain Mark Richards saga is an unbelievable one, and I can't believe that Carrie, actually goes to that prison, goes through all the effort that you have to do, the clearances involved, and I don't know if there's body searches and everything. Yeah, I don't know, but she does it, and it's a compelling story. It's a crazy story, and if you don't know anything about it, just go to projectcamelot.com and she has got all of that Mark Richards stuff right there, and you can go check it out. Check out the videos. She has stuff in print too. You can read the interviews, and it's absolutely incredible. Just
what's
a crazy
really
story.
amazing to her, props to her, that some people would say, oh, she's making it up, but that she has quite a photographic memory. Apparently, she can go in there. She's not allowed any kind of recording apparatus.
Right.
And I saw the one, I guess it was the second interview, where she's driving down a highway in Northern California, talking into her camera for an hour and a half about everything she saw. I'm going, please don't crash. I was waiting for a car to pull up and nudge her off the road.
Yeah. I watched that video.
It's drama.
Yeah, it's a pretty crazy video. It's a pretty crazy video, and the camera's right there next to her in the driver's seat. And, it's pretty nutty. And, it's also that's the after, but the before, when she's driving to the prison and she's talking about what she's about to do, you're like, man, you are nuts, lady, to do that. But she's very courageous, and it's a crazy, crazy story. So, all right. Hey, Dino, I've been putting Space Boy off. Let me get to Space Boy.
Oh, no, we've got to have Space Boy. The talent comes. We're all going to know him, and when he gets the Grammy, we're all going to be invited, right?
That's right. You too. I'll talk to you, Dino. Thank you, brother.
Have a good weekend.
You too. Space Boy. Space Boy, you're live. Space Boy. I don't have him. All right, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this, and then if he's not here, we'll take a quick break, and I'll make sure that we have Space Boy with it. Space Boy, you there? Okay, I'll get him when we come back. Not a big deal. Let's take a quick break. I need one. This is Fade to Black, Bespoke Radio for the Masses. Tonight is Fader Night, 323-825-5045. You can also Skype in. Fade to Black 14. Skype in, Fade to Black 14. Just like Space Boy is right now. Shoot me an email, Jimmy@jimmychurchradio.com. You can follow us on Twitter @JChurchRadio. I'll be back right after this.
Despite popular opinion, reading a book will not make you smarter.
But listening to Jimmy Church will.
He's always giving it to you straight.
JimmyChurchRadio.com.
Erica, Brittany, Gabby, and you're listening to JimmyChurchRadio.com.
This It's KJCR at jimmychurchradio.com.
Fade to Black, bespoke radio for the masses. Tonight is Fader Night. 323-825-5045. 323-825-5045. Bouncing back and forth with Spaceboy here, trying to get him on the line. I don't know what is going on. Let me try it one more time. We are connecting and unconnecting. Connecting and unconnecting. I don't know if it is him, if it is me. I don't think it's me because we have connected through a couple of times. Okay, let's try this one more time. Come on, brother. You can do this. You can connect, Spaceboy. This is Fade to Black. It's phone lines. I've hung up on them all trying to get to Spaceboy. And he's, oh, man. What is going on with this? Okay, all right, look. I'm going to do this. Spaceboy, I'm hanging up on you. Okay? You have now been hung up on. And we are going to reset. Now, I am going to call you. Now, pick up. Let's try this. Spaceboy, are you there?
Holy smokes.
Wow.
Yes,
Wow. Wow. Normally... Spaceboy, normally this is pretty easy stuff to do. So I don't know if we were like calling each other at the exact same time and like butting heads in the internet ether.
Right. I don't know what happened. My computer was doing fine, and all of a sudden it just started tripping out. And I said, you know what? Let me grab my phone real quick. And I was waiting patiently for Dino to do his thing, and because when Dino calls, everybody listens, and
exactly.
So I wanted to listen.
So, hey, Spaceboy, did you hear the original track today of Yo?
Yes, I mean, I remember when the first shows. I mean, I remember hearing that. I mean, I don't remember hearing the whole song, but that was the first time I've heard the whole thing.
Right.
So now, to be honest with you, I'm going to go back and listen to the whole thing and probably make a whole song out of what I've heard.
I'll send you the file. You don't have to go back and listen. I'll send you the file.
That would be cool. I would love it.
Really? Would you do that, man? It's such an honor, man. It's such a well. You know what's weird in once you hear the whole track. I mean, there's all kinds of other stuff that are different verses and the chorus section and the bridge are something that you never heard because of the old intro. The old intro, you only heard the intro, which is really it's only at the beginning of the song and maybe a little bit at the end. But there's like 4.5 minutes in the middle that don't have that intro at all.
Right. Yeah, I'd like to go back and revisit that and do a more complete, Space Boy version of the song. I mean, I heard when I was listening to it, I said, "Man, I wish I had heard that the first time around." And I've gotten ideas, and so if you can hook a brother up,
I'll hook a brother up.
I'd like to revisit. Oh, well, I'm thinking about it. Something else that Art Bell doesn't have.
Oh, okay. Are we going to say Art Bell's name one more time in this show? You just did. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
FADERNIGHT, he doesn't have Space Boy.
Yeah. Oh, man. Okay. What?
I'm sorry. I had to do it. I couldn't
man.
But I wanted to just, while we're on the phone, because we've talked, but to the FADERNIGHTs, Space Boy is not going anywhere from Fade to Black. I'm always going to be a part of the show in one way or another. Jimmy has my undying love and respect, and I'm sure he's mentioned to me, I can't put in words online what he said to me, but trust me, Jimmy feels the same way about me. And so, it's a show. It's about y'all. It's FADERNIGHT. I'm just one part of a mini group people that come to love the show. So, yeah, Space Boy's not going anywhere.
Well, you know what's really cool, Space Boy, about music is you can get your inspirations from anything. you can write a song while riding a bike, and if it's suddenly something comes into your head or whatever. You can be inspired by just about anything, and for you to be inspired by not only this show and the topics, but to take that and turn that into what you do with your music is just insanity to me when I listen to it, because I totally get it. I totally get it. And isn't it great how all of the other Fadernauts and that listen to this show, they immediately connect to your music, and that's it's I think that's incredible, and you'll always be the intro on this show. And it's funny. I listened to your version of my song, and it's not even that, because it's so different. It's different but the same, but it's so inspired that I don't even hear myself anymore in it, even though I wrote it, if you know what I'm saying. You wrote yours, but you know where I'm going. And today when I broke out the album and I put it on and I was listening to different tracks, what artist goes back and just listens to their own album beginning to end after it's done? Nobody. You just don't do it.
In fact, when I write a CD, I probably don't revisit that until like two or three albums later. I'll go back and like, wow, I wrote that. I mean, like, where did that come from?
Yes. And so today I'm listening to it. And I get to those guitar solos, man, and it was like just a knife in my back, man. I couldn't even listen to it. It was painful. And in that, I was sitting here thinking today, oh, I should have played that differently. Are you okay? What are you doing, man? Are you mixing drinks or something?
Oh, me in the back? Oh, I shifted. I have a problem with my chair. I need more bacon grease.
You need more bacon grease. So I'm listening to it today, and I'm like, man, I should have played that solo different. I should have done this different. But with anything creative like that, I know that my mindset back then was I took it as far as I could take it, and I was happy with it then, so I need to stay happy with it now. But, I've got some other stuff I'm going to play this week or next week off of that, and we'll see what everybody's reactions are. I might even play some, instead of going to dead silence tonight, I might play another track tonight for everybody and see what they think about it.
Cool. Well, like I said, send me a copy of it, and I'd like to, I'm just while I was listening to it, I was like, God, I wish I had heard this before, because I could do this, I could do that, and talk about a new, I have like 5 mixes of the Fade to Black theme on my website, and so I can only imagine that once you get me hooked up with this music, that there'll probably be 5 more mixes after it's all said and done. And it's just, and they talk about inspiration. The most recent album that I just released, Intellectual Love. Well, that was all inspired by a guest you had on. I can't think of her name off the top. Shay, I think it was. That came on about she predicted that Space Boy's next album would be a top chart. Sure enough, it's done phenomenal. On that album, I pay tribute to Method. Method has his own theme song on there. Some of my other songs have been played by Bill and Nancy. So, and then other songs have been inspired, like, for example, I know I'm drawing a blank here, but Contact in the Desert. He's going to kill me because I forgot his name. But anyway, he inspired me to write a song on the CD. So it's kind of like when I hear the CD now, it's like, okay, this is a part of Fade to Black. This is what's inspired me this past year, going to Contact. And then, Walter, Walter, I'm so sorry for getting your name.
Walter.
He'll kill me later.
Oh, man, Walter.
But, Walter inspired me to write a song. So it's like when you're, honestly, Faders, if you're listening, I'm watching you. And when I say I'm watching you, I'm like listening to what you're saying. And your words and everything that's coming across, whether it's in Twitter or across talking to Jimmy, I'm listening to that, and it's inspiring me in different ways that I didn't know before. Jimmy, I mentioned to you before, and on a more serious note, And this is kind of like, I guess, goes into the Space Boy mythos, is that, you know, before you came on the air, I was seriously thinking about deep sixing Space Boy forever and putting him into a vault and just leaving them be so far deep in space like David Bowman. But when you came on the air, I felt rejuvenated. And then when you gave me the opportunity to play a version of your theme song, it was like, for me, like the phoenix rising from the ashes. It really rejuvenated me in ways that I cannot begin to tell you. It's almost like I feel like Space Boy 2.0 now. And people, I can't say it enough how much I have such an undying loyalty for Jimmy, and that why this is the show to listen to. And I'm sorry if I sound like I'm being like a fanboy, but hey, when you're with the best, what can you say?
Well, you know, like I said, and thank you for that, but you know how you get your inspiration, you know, wherever that inspiration comes from. You know, if you're a painter, you're a writer, you're a songsmith like yourself, wherever you get that inspiration, it doesn't really matter. It's just that it happens, and when it does, it's friggin' glorious, man. And it just comes pouring out of you. And if I was the guy that drew this out of you, and you know, the world is a better place with you in it. And I just can't imagine you going on in life. And there's, you know what you don't want to do, Space Boy, and I'm glad I'm part of this in your life, because we all have somebody that inspires us once in a while. But is this what you don't want to do? Is you don't want to be that guy, 65 years old, sitting around playing pinochle with your buddies, going, "I coulda, woulda, shoulda. I almost wrote the theme song for Fade to Black, but I didn't." You know, you don't want to be that guy. You know, you don't. You just don't want to do it. And life is like that. It's very funny for everybody. If you've got something that you want to do, you know what? Go do it. Go do it. Go do it. Succeed, fail, whatever, but go and do it, because you don't want to fall asleep and have life pass you by and then go back and go, "Man, you know what? I wanted to do that, but I didn't." That sucks. You know, you don't want to be that guy. You just don't, you know, and, but you did. And if I inspired you, to do this, because now look, this stuff has come pouring out of you, Space Boy, and it's fantastic stuff. And now you have fans and people that listen to you, that respect you, that if you didn't go for Space Boy 2.0, it would have never happened. And look at you now, my brother. It's all good, isn't it?
It's a good feeling, my friend.
It is
a good feeling.
So
yes.
I'm very thankful for everything that you have done for us, you and your wife. You've been a big part of this show. You've been an inspiration to us. Both of you have done just gone way beyond the call of duty. And you know what I'm talking about, both on and off the air. So thank you for all of that. Just next time around, keep the pictures to a minimum, because you guys got the blackmail photos, man.
Oh, but hey, Dale got me back.
You know what, though? You know what? That photograph of you is one of the most classic. He got you good. But I tell you what, if you're gonna get got, then that's not too bad. That's a pretty fantastic photograph, and it made my day. The next day, it's 100 degrees outside. It was 110, 120, and every time I was thirsty or tired, I just broke out my phone and looked at that picture and said, "You know what? Life ain't that bad." Because look at Space Boy. Oh man, I love you, brother. Thank you for everything, and my best to Solana, man. Okay.
I love you too, man, and give my best to Rita.
Okay, and I'll get those files off to you. I'll send you a couple of more too. All right.
Awesome, and I'll get working on them.
You talk the walk, but you got to deliver. I'll send them right after the show.
All right, boss.
Thank you, Space Boy. All the best.
Good night, FADERNIGHT.
Space Boy, everybody. How cool is that, man? I mean, seriously. How cool is that? Having, somebody that creative involved in your life. Space Boy, thank you for everything. This is Fade to Black, taking your calls. 323-825-5045. 323-825-5045. Tonight's Fader Night. Best night of the week. Bespoke radio for the masses. Follow us on Twitter at JChurchRadio. Hashtag F2B. Taking your calls. When I come back, 323-825-5045. Let's light it up. Last segment of the show. I'll be back right after this.
This is KJCR at JimmyChurchRadio.com.
Hey, this is Alan Yohannes from the Vultures and Queens of the Stone Age. You're listening to JimmyChurchRadio.com. Rock on.
All right. I'm tweeting right now the famous picture of Space Boy. You got to see this to believe it. There it is. Retweeted to the world. All right, let's go. Listen, I'm going to say this to everybody. When I put you on hold and you hear music, that means you're on hold. Don't hang up because you're next in line. Like this next caller right here. This is Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Hi, you're live right now. Who's calling?
Yeah, sorry. Do you get mad when people double dip?
One of the best Seinfelds ever. Who's calling?
Well, this is Ryan again.
Oh, hey, Ryan, what's up? I've got 4 calls behind you. Yeah, real quick.
Real quick. Hey, go on the internet and check out this recent sighting that took place in Lima, Peru. This object hovered over, there's a news crew that was filming. This object hovered for 2 hours in place, and there's a video. It's a disc, and it's shot from multiple angles.
Okay,
I'll post it on your Facebook.
Yeah, I post it right now, and we'll get it retweeted out. Thank you so much, Ryan. You got it. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hi, Jimmy. It's Carol up in Alberta.
Hey, Carol. How are you tonight? It's Fader Night. Of course it's you. Of course. How's Terry?
Terry's good.
Is he listening? Good. Is he listening right now?
I'm not too sure because I'm not there. He's up in California.
Oh, okay. All right.
I'm almost in the States.
Where are you right now?
I'm in Medicine Hat.
I have no idea. That's like Wyoming, right?
I don't think so.
I don't know. Medicine Hat. Okay, you got me. You got me good. Medicine Hat, Canada?
Yeah, Southern Alberta.
Southern Alberta, Medicine Hat. Okay. Carol, what's up? While you're going to tell me, while you are telling me what's up, I'm going to look up Medicine Hat right now in real time. I got to see this. So what's up tonight, Carol?
Okay. Well, I was, my heart goes out to Jolene and Frank, and I was just thinking with everybody that's on the line, if we could all just quiet our minds for a moment and ask the universe or whoever's the highest power you can think of to put protection and help and strength all around Jolene and her father.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm sure that our combined energy will help.
Yes, it's when a father has to go through that. I don't have that experience, but when a father has to go through that and get to the point where He is speaking to the media like this show and the police, and he's got to post and he's got to reach out, and he's not hearing back. I don't want to know that feeling. So my heart definitely reaches out to Frank and his family, and let's just hope that and pray that all she did was just needed to clear her mind, needed to go and hang out with some friends, turn off her phone, but and if everything turns out fine, I'll just say this to Jolene, what, text your dad, man. Just text him. Just go, Dad, it's okay. It's all right.
Yeah.
So, all right, I'm looking at medicine. I'm looking at Medicine Hat right here. And
okay.
How many miles from the border is this? It's still a little bit far up. What is that? A couple of 100 miles?
It's, I guess it's about a 2-hour drive.
Yeah.
There's a sign on the road that says Havre, Montana, this way.
Yeah. Yeah, there's Havre. Havre's about the same distance south as you are north, right off of the 41 and the 2.
Yeah. Check
that out. Now, I got to say, looking at it here in Google Earth, you're in the middle of nowhere, young lady. There ain't nothing there. There ain't nothing there.
I know.
Check it out. Check it out. The closest city to you, Swift Current. Boy, that's a metropolis.
I was born there.
Oh, you were?
was.
What's the population of Swift Current? Oh, not to be. Oh, it's right next to Regina. There's Regina. I've been to Regina.
I worked in Regina.
Is that there? I thought Regina was north of Saskatoon.
No, it's south.
South, because I've been to Saskatoon, and then I flew to I flew to Regina. I thought we were flying north. I swear to you. I swear to you, we went from Saskatoon to Regina, and I've told this story 1,000 times. I thought we were going north. I thought we were like near Prince Albert. And no, Regina's actually south. I got into an argument one time with somebody from Canada. They're like, dude, Regina's not that far north. I'm like, dude, you're crazy. We flew for hours, and we flew so far. We were flying over buffalo and polar bears, man. Regina is right next to where Santa's building the toys for the kids every year in Christmas. And he's like, no, man, Regina, no, man. It's right. I was like, and I literally got into this argument with him about it. Now I'm looking at it on a map. My fondest memory that I have is Regina being next to the North Pole, and it's not. It's right next. It's right next to Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan.
Moose Jaw has beautiful natural spring soaked in this place. You can go in. They have a health spa attached to it. It's really beautiful, especially if you're working hard physically.
Well, you know what's really weird about this whole part of Canada, and unless you've been there, really, unless you've been to Moose Jaw, unless you've been to Regina, or any of these other places out there, it seriously, in the middle of nowhere, there is nothing there. There is nothing there. Regina pops out of nowhere. We're approaching it in the plane, and there's nothing there but fields, grass, nothing. There's no roads. There's no trees. There's no life. There's nothing. And there's Regina in the distance. It's just a little black dot. And then, it's a decent sized town once you get there. But and they've got a beautiful government center and all of that, and the main hotel that I stayed at there used to be like the state capital or whatever in Saskatoon before it was Saskatoon, and now it's a hotel, and it's beautiful, it's big, and it's nice. But it's in the middle of nowhere. There's nothing there, man. Nobody can convince me otherwise. It's just it's crazy how remote Canada is and how big it is and what is in between these cities. It's fascinating.
It's beautiful. There's a big sky all the time.
Yes, big sky. Yeah. Everything is big. Everything is big.
You got to come up here and hang out, Jimmy. I'm telling you. You'd have fun.
Oh, I love Canada, man. I love Canada. I love everything. I have been to I've been to towns like I've been to Kelowna. You know,
all right.
Yeah, and so when I say things like Regina or Saskatoon or Kelowna, you know, it's one thing with Calgary and stuff like that, but to Americans. But and Americans have never heard of Kelowna, and it's a beautiful town. It is a resort town.
I know.
And
they grow the best smoke in the world there.
Oh, I know nothing about that. But
Me neither, but I heard.
but Saskatoon is beautiful. Regina is beautiful. But these are towns and cities that down here in the United States we know nothing about. I have been there. So I'm telling you, I love Canada. I've been all over Canada, and I'm just a little bummed out that Regina is not next to the North Pole. So what's going on, Carol?
Oh, actually, I think spring has sprung around here. That's why Medicine Hat's so good. You know?
Yeah, I've talked to...
Everything's melting. I didn't even wear a jacket today. I just walked around in a hoodie. It was beautiful.
Yeah, I talked to a friend of mine up in Spokane today, and he was like, man, it's like hot up here. It's like crazy weather. Everything is in Boston. You know, Boston's under 7 feet of snow, and this part of the United States, it's like really, really nice right now.
Well, Boston doesn't have very many snowplows either.
No, they don't. They're completely screwed in Boston. I feel for them. 7 feet of snow in a week. Oh man!
And those people, everybody's got to get out and shovel their roofs off, or you know, like in Canada, we kind of build it so the snow will slide off. But if not, then you have to get up there and shovel it off.
Right.
Yeah, that's a big job for people who've never shoveled.
So what's going on, real quick? You called. What's on your mind tonight?
It was just Jolene was on my mind.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah, and that's about it. And I love the show. Keep her up. I tried to get into the FADERNIGHT tweet thing, and it won't let me in. So I got to try and figure it out. I got to grab some kid to show me what I did wrong.
With Twitter, Carol, that's best. Thank you so much. We'll talk to you soon. Tell Terry I said yo.
I will.
Bye-bye.
Good night.
Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hi, Jimmy. This is K28 from Porter Ranch.
Hey, K28, and you're not on the 405. Look at you.
Actually, I'm home parking the driveway, and I have the air conditioner turned off.
Oh, right on, man. Right on. What's going on, Kay? Everything good?
Yeah. Did I sound better?
Yeah, you sound perfect, actually. We can hang out tonight. Tonight we can hang.
Yeah. How do you like the Egyptian hieroglyphs?
Man. I think I might have saved it. And if anybody doesn't know what Kay's talking about, he sent us these the Fade to Black Egyptian hieroglyphs that say Fade to Black and Jimmy Church. What else is in there besides Jimmy Church and Fade to Black?
FADERNIGHT.
Yeah, FADERNIGHT. That was it. That was the third line. And the funny thing was, Kay, let me tell you what I did with that the first time I saw it. I didn't know that it said Jimmy Church, Fade to Black, FADERNIGHT. I didn't know that. I just saw the image. And I opened it up, and my mind clicked that it says Fade to Black, right? And I'm looking, and it's kind of weird how your brain can put stuff together subliminally, but you don't know what you're reading. Do you understand what I'm saying? And
yeah.
And I looked and I looked and I looked and I could feel it. I could feel it that these hieroglyphics said Fade to Black. And once I picked it out and I saw it, I was like overjoyed how cool it was because it looks like hieroglyphics. And your brain, you know how sometimes you can have a text in front of you that the words are scrambled, but you can still read the text no matter what. You know what I'm saying? Completely scrambled. But if you know, you can actually go through and read it just as fast as normal text. It's weird how that works. That was the same thing that I thought of with that hieroglyphics because I couldn't see it, but I knew it was there. It was pretty bizarre. And
that's your own number 9.
Yeah, it is my own number 9. Where did that come from?
I don't know. I was listening to you, and I was compelled to do it. A thought came into my head, and for some reason, on the first click I did on the internet, some Egyptian hieroglyphs showed up, and I said, that's something that Jimmy would like. And then it's kind of like I was led to put this character here, that one here, to that one upside down, that one sideways, and everything just fell into place. So.
It's so badass. What you need to do, once you get out of the car, once you're off the phone with me, please retweet it. I just looked for it, and I don't see it in front of me, and I don't want to get... I got it. I got it right here. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and tweet this back out. You don't need to do it. And I'll tweet it on the break so I don't sound like a doofus. But
it'd be nice if there's a FADERNIGHT out there that could transfer that to some clay or concrete and make it kind of tannish color, and then cut it out and send that to you. That would be great.
How do you spell hieroglyph? H-E-I-R, hieroglyph. I'm going to spell this so wrong.
G-L-Y-P-H.
Yeah. I got that part. How do you spell hiero? How do you spell?
H-I-E-R-O, maybe?
Yeah, that's what I did. Okay. Oh, I think Les just tweeted it out. Let me see here. Add images. Let's see here. Man, I'm doing this live on the air. I hate it when I do this because I sound like such a retard. And right now somebody out there is going, yes, you do sound like a retard. But, and I just said that. That's so politically incorrect. But I got it out. Okay. There you go, everybody. And you can retweet. I'll retweet. Les is doing it too. But if you're
thought you would see that your name Jimmy, because that one stands out more than the other one.
Yeah, and I'm just saying it was Fade to Black that hit me, and then I picked it apart, and I just went in and looked, and then I see the Jimmy Church. I was like, what? It's just Jimmy. It's not Church, or is it Church too?
No, you got Church in there. It's on the far right. You see it?
Yep.
It's hitting the most.
Yeah, I see it now. Dude, this is just rowdy. This is off the hook. And FADERNIGHT is just, it's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. There are...
The hover car is right on top of the S.
I saw that too. The hover car. And we should send this to Egypt. We should send this to Zahi Hawass and go, dude, what does this say? Do you know what this says?
I thought maybe Eric would have seen it yesterday.
Yeah, right. Oh, man, this is just incredible. Thank you so much for this, Kay. Anything else real quick before I let you go? I know you're sitting in your driveway.
I hope somebody converts that into a concrete or clay and send it to you so you can post it on your walls in your office or whatever. So that'd be
Sure. Yeah, somebody out there could pull that off. I know it wouldn't be me, but you could probably get this done with maybe a 3D printer. I wonder if that's possible.
Yeah,
wow.
It won't have depth.
Oh, a method just said, I don't sound tarded. I sound special needs. Yeah, there you go. All right. Thank you so much, Kay. All the best, my brother. Anything else real quick before I let you go?
Did you enjoy that train thing I had on there?
Oh, man, all of them. I retweeted them all. Yeah. I hit every single one. Very cool.
I had 15 minutes to do each one because they were doing 15 minutes. So that's how fast I put them together.
Thank you so much, Kay. I can tell you're getting out of the car. All the best. All the best. Have a safe night. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you on Monday.
Okay. And Bear, it's your turn to do next week.
Yeah, right? Thanks, Kay.
All right, bye.
K28, everybody. K28 in the house. One last break. Maybe one or two. Time for one or two more calls. This is Fade to Black, bespoke ready for the masses. Tonight is FADERNIGHT. What do you think of the hieroglyphs? Pretty cool. I don't know how he did it, but it's pretty cool. Check it out on Twitter right now. At JChurchRadio, hashtag F2B. I'll be back right after this. This is Fade to Black, only on the Game Changer Network. I'll be back right after this.
to my boy, Jimmy Church, on jimmychurchradio.com.
Despite popular opinion, reading a book will not make you smarter.
But listening to Jimmy Church will.
Fade to Black. You know what's funny is, man, I want to just say who I've been texting with during the breaks, but I can't. Can't do it. I can't go there. But you guys would die laughing. And, but I just texted back, and I know they're listening right now. And I just said, you already have it. Yeah. All right. All right. This is Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Bespoke radio for the masses. TalkStream Live, TuneIn, Spreaker, soon to be iHeart. And with that, shoot me an email to jimmy@jimmychurchradio.com. You do want to follow us on Twitter @JChurchRadio. Come hang out in the sandbox. I recommend TweetDeck for everybody. You need to have it. And I would like to welcome back to the program our very special friend, Gene Vito. Boom!
Hey, good evening.
How you doing, Gene?
I'm doing great, man. I wrote you a poem tonight. Did you see it?
Yeah, I just read it. Yes,
I want to
did.
read it out loud for everybody.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, man. Fly a mission, Gene. Drop a bomb.
Okay, here we go. Here's a poem written for our Prince of Paranormal. Starting now. There is only one who breaks the bounds of our quest and search. A new truth rises. His name is Jimmy Church.
I just tweeted it out in real time.
All right.
Yeah, that was pretty cool, man, because the tweet hit as you were reading it. And very cool, Gene. Very cool. How are you tonight, sir?
I'm doing great tonight. I just want to say you've had a great week this week. I've enjoyed every show. You know, the tweet deck is phenomenal, out of control. I can't even keep up anymore. So.
No, I can't either. You know what? And that's that's the funnest part about it. And I think that because there's so many thousands of tweets that go down, and you know what's funny, Gene, is there are people listening to us right now that aren't over here on Twitter. They're just listening to the show, and they're like, oh, whatever. They're blowing smoke.
Right.
Twitter and TweetDeck and this show is an insanity type of defense for me, where I can honestly say I can't keep up, and but that's the joy of it, is trying to keep up, scrolling backwards. Oh, where was that? And the next thing you know, it's 50 tweets buried, and it's only been 5 seconds. You know, it's like, what is going on?
I just want to make one other comment, if I can. The music has been phenomenal.
Thank you.
I love it that you play a little something before the show and a little something after the show.
Tonight I got another surprise for you.
All right,
yeah, everybody
great.
Hang out a little bit after the show tonight. We'll have some stuff.
All right, let me get out of the way. I know the closer's coming pretty quick.
Yeah, man. Les is coming on, man. So thank you so much, Gene.
All right, good night, Fader Knots, and wonderful Fader Night.
Give it to me before you go. Give it to me before you go.
Boom.
Gene Vito, everybody. Thank you, Gene. Have a great, safe weekend.
All right. Night, brother.
Gene Vito. Man, how do you top that? Well, it's Barrett. We need Barrett in here. All right. Thank you, Gene. That opens up the phone lines. 323-825-5045. I got time for one more call before we bring in the closer. There was something I wanted to mention earlier. Oh, check this out. Cell phone owners can now unlock their mobile devices to switch to another compatible wireless provider as long as the consumer meets a specific set of criteria. The ability is the result of an agreement between the industry and the U.S. government. Hallelujah! A new era of choice, and I'm quoting here, this is from the feds, A new era of choice for all cell phone users has begun. The FCC trumpeted on its own website, announcing the implementation of the new unlocking policies, and I'm quoting here, the new standards which are fully in effect among all nationwide mobile service providers as of when? Yesterday, February 11th, 2015. A new day. It now officially gives customers freedom and flexibility while trying to increase incentives for service providers to innovate. Customers who meet the criteria laid out in the standards adopted by the CTIA Wireless Association will be able to unlock their devices and switch to another wireless provider as long as the systems are compatible. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Good God. Hello, it's Barrett.
Hey, Barrett. How are you tonight? Hey, my brother.
I'm finer than a hair on a bullfrog's butt.
Okay, well, you know you freaked everybody out on Twitter for the last few days. You know that, don't you?
Well, I was in my cave.
Well, was it just a cold? Was it just a cold?
No, I was pretty much around the 7th or 8th level of hell with a migraine.
Well, when you said, you tweeted, your last tweet was, I can't deal with light and sound.
Right.
That's pretty much the known universe.
Exactly.
Oh, man.
I did. I locked myself into a dark room and crawled up in a ball and cried and wailed and moaned and was being pathetic. But I'm better now.
Okay, well, you sound great. I don't know. Were you faking it? Did you need attention or something?
No, not at all. I really, it's sad. I mean, I actually had to put your show on when I had little moments of feeling a little bit better and put it on really low and listen in short amounts. It was really torture, but I got through it and I'm better now.
Well, don't you hate it? We all do. When you're really, 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 really sick and you get those really, the cold of death, but and you sound terrible, you look terrible, you can't breathe, you're coughing and everything, and all of a sudden in one day it goes away. And then the next day you have that 2-day cold, not the 2-week cold, the 2-day cold. And then suddenly you're okay. And you almost have to fake being sick because now nobody's going to believe that you were sick at all. And it happens. And that's what you're going through right now. I'm not buying it. I'm just not buying it, man. Because you sound great. You should.
Well, you know what? It only takes a good dose of FADERNIGHT to make a body feel better.
Yeah. I woke up this morning and early, and I told Ree, I said, I'm not feeling good, and I haven't felt good all day long. And I'm going to bring in Les. Les is coming in. Let's bring him in. All right. Hey, Les.
All right.
Hey, Les, let me finish my story before I say hello. So,
Absolutely.
Isn't that just rude? Was I just rude to Les? But you know what? No, I wanted to bring him in instead of having him sit on hold. So I think that's being the good guy. Just let me finish my
story. You're all good, Jimmy.
Okay.
Jimmy, you cool. Just go, man.
All right. So, but I felt awful all day. My throat, I've got a little ear thing going on, and maybe those are connected, and a headache, and I just didn't feel right all day. I felt funky all day. I couldn't get out of it. And right up to showtime, you know what? Right now, I feel pretty good. So you're right. It's just a good dose of FADERNIGHT, the FADERNOTS, and you know what? Pretty good coffee, too. I will say that. And seeing my wife, all of that, and boom, I'm good to go. So I feel pretty good now compared to what I did earlier today. I was not right. I wasn't right, man.
Good for you. That shot of whoa at the end, that just saved your entire night.
Well, hey, man, the truth, man. It's called the truth. I always speak the truth. So what else is going on, Barrett?
Really and truly, nothing at all. I have been locked in a room for about almost 3 solid days, and it's just nice to be upright, and not being able to not being able to look at the light. It's one of those things. You go through it and you get through it, and then you come out the other side, and you just hold hands with all the FADERNIGHts, and you go, it's going to be okay.
Was it? Did you get? Were there antibiotics involved?
No, just a lot of pain medication.
Wow. Okay.
He gets
all right.
really bad. He gets really bad migraines like I do.
Hence the sight and sound and the light and sound.
Yes.
Yeah, brother. Okay.
Yeah. I've had my share, but hey, that's like I said. You come out on the other side, and it's all good. I don't think about that. I'm thankful for everything that I have and everyone in my life, and that's all that matters to me. The other stuff is just noise.
You're so right, man, and that's how I live my life. You're exactly 100% right. Words of wisdom. If we all lived like that, could you imagine how cool the world would be? I mean, wow, man, that's heavy. Heavy and simple at the same time.
I remember sitting around a conference table with a bunch of guys at, I won't say the name, but everybody hates it when you get blue screens of death from them. But I sat around with a group of these guys, and it was some sort of a building exercise where everybody goes around and talks about what motivates them. And I hear all these stories about all this crap. And oddly enough, I was like right near the end. And the more crap I heard, the more I just felt, I don't know what I felt, really. I just felt out of place. And it came to me and they said, okay, tell us what gets you going in the morning. And I said, the smell of my little girl's hair.
Right.
The touch of my son's hand.
Right.
My wife's sigh.
Right.
That's what gets me up in the morning. It's.
That's it.
I haven't heard any of that from any of you guys, and I mean, I'm sorry. I'm glad to be here working with all of you guys, but this isn't what gets me up in the morning.
Right. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
It.
I said it. I tweeted it out earlier tonight. It's kind of funny that you said that, but I tweeted it tonight, man. It's called Family, Friends, and Country. Have fun, man. Life is way too short. You do it in that order, it's all good. And that is, man. That's really it. There's no time. There's not enough days in your life to worry about other crap. It's just not. They're just not.
That's right.
Don't do it, man. It's a waste of time. You don't want to.
We get home.
You don't want to get to the end of days and go, you know what? I wasted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 20, 30, 40, 50, maybe 100 really good days of my life on bull crap that I could have spent having fun. And you're going to get to and you are going to regret that, man. Your days are short. Live it all to the best, 110% and beyond, and just have a great time. That's it. Live, love, and have friends and family. That's it. I don't want to be Mr. Mushy guy. I'm not dumb and I'm not naive, but I certainly don't want to live life with regrets. And what I don't want to do is spend regretting that I spent time hating or allowing somebody to hate or to fight or any. I don't want to do it. I just don't. I would much rather go out and I don't know, ride a roller coaster, go see a movie, go spend it with your family.
It reminds me of someone who said, I don't want them to go to my casket and look at him and go, hey, he looks really good. But no, I want him to look down and say, God, he looks like he just was rode hard and put up with.
That's right, man. I said
to my worn the hell out.
You know what I said to my kids one time? Now I want to play some music on the back end of the show tonight. I don't know if TuneIn is going to cut us off right at 10 o'clock on the live feed. I don't know. We're going to find out the hard way. But I don't know how that's going to work. But we just blew past that opportunity 3 minutes ago. So that being said, I'll say this. I said to my kids once, this was about 10 years ago, and Rita will back me up on this, but I literally said to my daughters, they're like 5 years old, 6 years old, and I said, look, don't expect, I'll try to make sure you have some college money set aside, but you're not going to inherit anything from me. and they're like, what? And I said to Rita, I said, man, I want to die spending my last dime in a slot machine in Vegas. I want to run this baby out. I want to take this as far as I can take it. That's it.
Yes, man, I love you.
Oh, man, my daughter's...
No one is guaranteed tomorrow.
No, that's exactly it, man. That's exactly it. And now, and it was a little more colorful to my daughters about where I was spending my last dime in Vegas. But it's really how I just want to just make sure that Rita and I just to the max, man. And that's it. There's not enough days left. I did some math. If you do, you can break out your calculator right now. I'm going to do this in real time. So this is what's scary, and I'll throw this out there to you guys here. This is what is really, really scary. If you take 365 days, right, and you times that times 70 years, it spits out a number, okay? Now, that's how many days you have on this earth if you live to 70. Now, is it 7,000? Is it 35,000? Is it 70,000? Or is it 700,000? How many days are you on planet Earth? Your answer is too slow. And if you say
25,000.
That's
25,
right.
000.
It's 25,000 days. So right now, if you are, let's just back this up for something crazy thing. Let's just say that you are 40, so 30 years left on planet Earth, right? Times 365. That means you've got 10,000 days left. 10,000. That's it. That's it.
But you're not even guaranteed that.
You're not. And you want to waste one of those days trolling on the internet? You want to waste one of those days?
Don't forget, of those 70, of those 25,000 days, you spend over 6,000 of them asleep. So please, everybody, listen to me right now. Your time on Earth is precious. There isn't a lot of time. It doesn't go on forever. When you're 15, it feels that way, and I get that. But, and I don't want to be morose about this. I want everybody to be happy about this. Just recognize one thing. You don't have enough time to be negative. That's it. You don't have enough time for that. You don't have enough time to be happy. So, dude, just be happy. All right? With that, thank you so much, Barrett. Thank you so much, Barrett. And I want you to be safe. Welcome back. And we'll see you on Monday. Thank you for thinking of me, and thank you all the Fader Nuts for all your well wishes. God bless you all, and namaste. I love you all, and thank you, Jimmy. And go get them less. Good night.
Thank you, Barrett. All the best, brother. All right, with that, let's do it, man. We are past, and there you go. Okay, it's all you. It's all you, Les. Let her rip, Tater Chip.
Right. First, Jimmy would like to thank all the callers who phoned home tonight. Fade to Black executive producer is Rita Kamarian. Show is produced by Hilton J. Palm and Mark D. Kovar. Special thanks to LJ3, that's me, Renee, and Jonas. Announcers are Steve Harder, Gene Vito, and Mark D. Kovar. Fade by Dale. Webmaster is Method of Signaling. Music is by Doug Aldrich. Intro is by Spaceboy. SpaceboyMusic.com. Fade to Black is produced by KJCR for the Game Changer Network. And for this week, Jimmy and I are out of here.
Thank you, Les, my brother. Everybody,
Love you, man.
love you back, man. Everybody have a great, safe weekend. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter at JChurchRadio. Shoot me an email, any complaints, suggestions, or anything else. Jimmy at jimmychurchradio.com. Everybody be safe. See ya.